Hello! This is Rolls Revamped, and we're here to play TTRPGs.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah, is that the intro? Done. No. This is the first sort of inaugural episode, so we're feeling out the space. We're just kind of vibing a little bit. But basically, we like taking different mechanics from different games, kind of folding them into each other. Today, keeping it pretty simple, and we're just going to be playing Brindlewood Bay, a cozy murder mystery one-shot. Yeah. We can go around and introduce ourselves in a second here. But I think the last thing to announce up top is that we're a Humble Bundle affiliate. So we're going to have the little affiliate code, the link thingy in the description box. So if you want to go check them out, they have some amazing games for great prices. So go do that.
I think they have Pathfinder right now, too, if anyone wants to check that out. I mean, who knows when this episode comes out? Yeah. But they did have a sale right now.
Yeah, what is time?
They might have Pathfinder.
I'll double check and we'll put it in the description.
Yes. Good. We can go around, introduce ourselves. If you want to give your name, pronouns, the character you're playing, their pronouns. And if you want to give your social media handle or plug what you're working on, that's fine too. I'm Rem. My pronouns are she, her. I'm just going to be the keeper, so I'm running the show today. So I have everyone's pronouns. I'm Rem of the Realm on Twitter and most social media, and that's me. Why don't we go and do Lee next?
Hello.
I don't know where you'll be on my screen, but
somewhere. My name is Lee, and I'm going to be playing Mariana. I go with all pronouns, and Mariana is she, her. I am on this channel, Rolls Revamped, and I am also I am the DM for Abstract Adventures. It's a really good podcast where we make up everything as we go, play D&D. So if that sort of thing interests you, we're on every single podcast app. So. Now, do I choose somebody to throw under the bus, or
yeah, you picked him?
It's gonna be Rowan.
Choose. I'm Rowan. I use they them pronouns. I don't really do things, so I do this. This is the only thing I'm doing, and I'll be playing Val, who uses he him pronouns. I'll throw it to Haley.
Hello, I'm Haley. My pronouns are she, her. I will be playing Miriam, and her pronouns are also she, her. And I'm on this screen. And now to B.
Yes, I'm B. I
or
do
not
love
to be?
bees. Any pronouns is good for me. I do love a good pun, as we all know. Other fun joke is pronouns could also be be-bem, but anyways. My character is going to be Miyako. Will probably be nicknamed Yako. She has she, her pronouns, and I don't really like to do social media. I prefer usually to be a ghost, so this will be the only channel where I have an existence, most likely.
Yeah. You're more of a cutting up all your credit cards and moving out of the country sort of vibe.
Exactly. At any given moment, I am currently tapping into the satellite of some place.
Does B actually exist? We'll never know.
I don't think so.
I've been a ghost for 27 years. But yeah, we'll
pretty sure burnt off your fingerprints in a gas station bathroom.
It's true. I have actually cut my thumb before and messed up some of my thumbprints on one of the thing, but that's kind of gross. But we'll take it over to the good old Mary Elise.
Hello, I'm Mary Elise, pronouns they, them. I will be playing Edna, whose pronouns are she, her. Social media don't have too much, but you can find me on Twitter at Dexy Plushies. That's DEXIII_plushies. And I do a lot more than just plushies there, so your fault if you decide to look.
Glance behind the curtain at your own risk.
They I will not be held responsible for anything that you say.
Absolutely not. Okay, good. So I figure, let's see, because we've already done like our sort of character creation, the majority of it. I might do a quick little like intro for Brindlewood Bay the game. And then we'll do an introduction. It's the cozy little place, like, and character introductions. So I'll explain that. We'll go into that, and I might also ask you an icebreaker question just for fun.
Oh no.
Us as people or our characters?
That's a great question. I mean, it feels like it makes sense to do it for your characters.
Okay.
Yeah, let's then we can avoid the mortifying ordeal of being known as people. Yeah, so that'll be good.
Good for everyone.
If you want to prepare though, while I give this intro, the question that I'm going to ask you is, if your character was a dessert, what would you be?
Easy. Done.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, really quick, just a little bit about Brindlewood Bay. This is the first time that all of us except Mary Elise, I believe, are playing this. So we're kind of going to be feeling it out and exploring the rules as we go. But yeah, right off the top, it is a game. It's a Powered by the Apocalypse game. So people familiar with that will recognize, how some of the mechanics sort of function. It's a role-playing game traditionally about a group of elderly women, members of the local Murder Mavens Mystery Book Club, who frequently find themselves investigating actual murder mysteries just by happenstance. In the case of our game, we aren't focusing specifically on elderly women, just more on elderly folks in general, for the sort of nature of our group, and yeah, just for our comfort levels. The other thing, let me see, it's a cozy murder mystery, so generally speaking, the tone going to be pretty lighthearted. Having said that, it is a murder mystery. A murder did at one point
They did a
happen.
kill. Somebody killed.
Yes. Someone did at one point do a kill, so just keeping that in mind, right?
That's going to be upsetting.
Yeah.
I mean, who hasn't?
Who hasn't, right? Sometimes you panic and do a murder.
At that point, it's manslaughter, so it's fine.
It's manslaughter, so it's fine. Great.
Got the word laughter in it.
Manslaughter. What could ever be wrong with that, right? But yeah, I don't expect that our game will tread on anything like too dark and too gritty or gory, right? It's a lighthearted murder mystery. But yeah, keeping in mind that themes like murder and danger might crop up at times. It's very much based on like Murder, She Wrote and cozy crime dramas and American TV shows from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. I think that's about all that I have for the intro. So why don't we go around and do your cozy little... I literally just scrolled past it. Okay, your cozy little... What is that? No, okay, cozy little place. Great. So we've got all of our characters. We're going to go around. Why don't we do reverse order this time? So we'll start with Mary Elise, and everyone is going to tell me 3 things. The name of your previous partner, whether deceased or otherwise, if you have any children, pets, plants, anything else like that, anything that you're taking care of in your life, and also your career before you retired to Brindlewood Bay. And I'm going to add on that 4th thing is the icebreaker question. If you were a dessert, what would you be? So Mary Elise, why don't you start off?
Okay. Edna's deceased husband's name was Trom. She definitely did not kill him, but has been living comfortably off his estate for the past 20 years or so. And so she's never really had a job, but she spends her time knitting clothes and things for the homeless while listening to the audiobooks of the Golden Crown Mysteries. And so she's pretty much adopted all of the neighborhood's children because she doesn't have any of her own. And if she were a dessert, she would actually just be the full cookie jar that's in her kitchen that anyone could use at any point in time.
Excellent. Love that. Who's been spreading these rumors that she killed her husband? So rude.
Was it because of the name?
I think
it's 'cause of the name.
detective named Noel Noir or something.
Yes. Yes.
That's a bad Benoit Blanc joke.
Yeah. For anyone who is not aware. Excellent. Who was before Mary Elise? I think it was B, right?
B.
Yay! Do you want me to repeat the things?
Yes.
Yes,
I'm
totally.
sorry,
Yeah.
I was writing up the thing.
Yeah, no worries.
Wait, what was the order? Sorry.
No, it's all good. Just if you want to introduce the name of your previous or deceased partner, children, pets, plants, and your career before you retired to Brindlewood Bay.
Okay, great. I was writing it all down so I could be prepared, and then I wasn't prepared
Yeah.
because you were talking.
Yeah, no,
so
that's
yeah.
fair.
My spouse's name was Shizuko, but she was usually call her Shizo. She's been passed on for about 8 years now, but my past profession was an elementary school PE teacher, so very physically active, which is why also vitality is one of her strong suits. They did have one child who is a flight attendant, currently is traveling the world, so they don't really like see each other too often because again he's around. And then as a dessert, she really is like one of those on the go type of people, so always has either like a shake or anything, but her favorite dessert, or the dessert she would be more of like a spicy hot chocolate, 'cause she adores spicy food. She
Ooh.
really likes incorporating like growing hot peppers as well, because like the capsation really gets you energetic and all that as well.
I love this. I love that Yako is just a jock.
True, Yako is a jock.
Yes. I love that. Incredible.
Jock granny.
Yeah, Shizu was the one that was more of like, would probably fit more in the Murder Mavens, and now I'm thinking like that's probably why she was drawn more to like a nice like little club and all that as well, because she's usually the one who is more of like a people person, going in like, oh, here's the nice little clubs, like let's get involved with that. But so yeah, I think that's probably why she's more drawn to that, because it reminds her of like all that, and they would usually do their own little events.
So cute. Love that. Good. Let's go to Haley, I think was right before that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Miriam's ex-husband, his name is David, and when they were in their 60s, both David and Miriam realized that they were both gay, and it was a compact
damn.
marriage, and so they parted very amicably and are still good friends. And Miriam was actually the maid of honor when David married his now husband. And they have two kids. Their son Daniel and their daughter Esther. And if Miriam was a dessert, and her previous profession was she was a baker. She still owns the bakery, which now Esther and Daniel both kind of help run in New York. And very like New York Jews from the got there in like the 30s or whatever. Kind of vibe. And yeah, so if she was a dessert, she would be a babka, which for anyone who doesn't know is a Jewish dessert that kind of looks like a cinnamon bun, but it's chocolate instead of cinnamon, because she is very sweet but has many layers.
Yum. Is it true that to make a proper like New York bagel, you have to use the water from New York, like from the taps in New York?
Yes. It has to be borderline toxic and almost undrinkable for it to be a true bagel.
Perfect. I love that. Good. Okay, let's go. I think Rowan was next.
So Val's former partner was Leander. They had 2 kids, Audrey and Elias, and his previous career, he built sets for a theater company that his husband worked at, as well as stage manager. And if Val was a dessert, he would be sticky toffee pudding because he is warm and comforting.
Oh, I love that. Oh, that's so sweet. Yay.
All right, and
Hell
I think
yeah.
Lee was.
And then me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Miriam's late husband was named Henry, and they never had kids, but they were married for like a good 60 years. Like, it was a very, very long time. They got married very young, and she worked in a little restaurant that was on a coastal town, and it was a seafood place because he was a sailor and he would be gone a lot of times, and but he could always come back to this place. And unfortunately, yeah, he did pass away at sea. She just kind of didn't see him again one time.
Aw.
So yeah, but she got a little too old for a restaurant, a little too tired for working every day, so she moved back into Brindlewood Bay, a little bit quieter area, and she likes to keep up with her cooking a lot still. She has like a whole bunch of herbs and plants in her house that she takes care of, and she has like some old radio equipment and stuff like that from the husband's military days that she just kind of dusts once in a while. She's like, I don't know, but I don't want to get rid of it.
Yeah.
And,
Oh, yeah.
Yes, they never had kids, but they always had dogs. Lots of dogs. Not anymore. She can't take care of it by herself, but it's got her
Aw.
plants now.
What kind of dogs did they have?
Oh, all sorts. They always just adopted from shelters and stuff like that. So I think the last one I decided was going to be named Chips. And it's going to be like one of those shaggy lab dogs that have like some sort of, other terrier inside of, in the line.
Yes. I love that. And what if she was a dessert? What kind of dessert
that's
would she
right.
be?
I want her to be creme brulee because she's like so insanely sweet. You got to kind of taper it off a little bit.
Possibly a little burnt.
A little burnt, but in a good way.
Because you said that, this literally happened to me in real life one time where we were doing icebreakers and someone said that she was a creme brulee as the answer to this icebreaker, and I was like, oh, is it because you're so soft and sweet on the inside but a little hard on the outside? And she looked at me in horror and was like, no. And I was trying to be joking, but I felt so mean. That's all I could think of.
Brutal.
Yes. But okay, I did forget that we also have to name, everyone has to name a thing that goes in your cozy little place. So the cozy little place, we're gonna go again, we'll do reverse order one more time. But basically, your cozy little place also sort of functions as your inventory. So it represents a cozy little nook in your home or your living space, and also items that you can use to give yourself advantage in certain situations if you can, pitch me a good reason for how that would work. So we'll start with Lee this time. Why don't we go around and everyone can sort of name one item to go in Lee's cozy little place. And then just write it down on your character sheet or wherever.
Oh, do we want to name our styles too?
Oh yeah.
Shit. Do we do that?
Oh yeah, we style and cozy activity, don't we?
Yeah,
Damn it.
you can do it at the same time.
Okay, we'll do it at the
We
same
can do
time.
that as we get to the. We can do it as we get to the cozy place.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll just bounce around, reverse order, reverse again. So yeah, Lee, if you want to do your cozy activity, your move that you chose, and then we'll all pick a thingy for you.
Okay. Perfect.
I'm a professional. Listen.
We're very good at this.
It's fine.
Definitely not our first time.
Yes.
Well, Okay, so what was the first? Something style, and then your move. What was the first?
Yeah,
one?
your cozy activity, and your
Activity,
maven
that's right.
move.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So, the style I chose is going fishing. She's always got like big sweaters and like definitely jeans that she just uses. She just wears all of her husband's old clothes, is what it is. Just like giant sweaters and jeans and big old wristwatches and woolen hats, stuff like that.
Love that.
By going fishing, I guess I decided that meant lighthouse keeper. So they
just
fish,
have to be a lighthouse
you know.
for each other.
You see each other and know to avoid it.
No. Anyways,
You're gonna ruin me already. Ruined. Obviously, my cozy activity is cooking. It's a huge, well-stocked kitchen. And my maven move that I chose is Scarecrow, which at the beginning of each session, so just this one, stranger presses something into your hand or leaves it in a place where I can find it. The keeper will tell you what it is, and it functions as a clue. It doesn't have to pertain to any mystery. It can be used for future sessions, but that would be kind of dickish if it wasn't.
not to put me fully on blast or anything.
But if you give
fine.
me a clue that doesn't go to this mystery, I'm gonna be a little upset.
It's a literal red herring. It's just a slab of fish.
Okay, and then we're gonna choose things for my cozy little place.
Yeah.
Other people choose it. That's so interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, give me
It's not
things.
stressful at all for the rest of us. So which order are we going in for the naming of things?
Is it random order, or are we going in that same order?
You could do popcorn, or we could do the same order if you
A
guys want to
shovel.
keep it.
Shovel.
Okay.
All right.
I have a bunch
you have
of...
a really
No- Yeah, tell me more about this shovel.
the shovel is one of those very like lightweight. What is there's a
So,
specific
like collapsible ones.
Foldable
a
utilitarian shovel.
No, what's the one where it's like
Trowel.
there's a special type of like lightweight,
Fiber?
not metal, but
It's
carbon fiber. A
carbon fiber, that's it. Yeah,
shovel.
I was like fiber something, but
Yeah, you have a really nice lightweight carbon fiber shovel, which basically feels like it weighs nothing, but very durable, and
Okay.
like never failed you yet.
perfect.
Because you know how like
Uh,
some really
for
durable
gardening,
shovels
of
will
course.
fill, yes, or digging holes of perhaps
Or burying
bodies.
bodies.
Or
For
both.
large.
Yeah.
Good. From me, you have a set of a very comprehensive set of world maps that are
Ooh.
like from the military and stuff like that, but they're like
Ah,
highly detailed and accurate and cool.
cool. I like that.
I'm gonna give you something that is not at all useful, but I
Yes.
think it's funny. Is you have one of those talking fish, like or singing
Big
fish,
ones.
like wall ornaments. Yeah.
That's amazing.
I
Oh,
love
that's
this.
And it's, yeah.
So good. Can you tell me what sonnet sings?
Three Little Birds by Bob Marley and the Wailers.
Oh, God.
Good.
You're just so good at this,
So
Ryan.
Ah!
Okay. Who's next?
And I think for me, you're going to have a cane, but it also has for the head is a collapsible spyglass with a compass also on it, and
That's
so
so
you can use
Good.
it for any of those things.
Very good. We love a cane here. We stand.
Yes.
Okay. Perfect.
Hell yes. Good. That was everyone, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Cool. Then we can go on to Rowan. So your style, your cozy activity, your maven move, and then everyone will give you excuse me, an item.
All right. So the style, because you can choose your own, and so I chose Frog and Toad, like that children's book. So like a lot of like corduroy and like tweed jackets and stuff. That's the style. His cozy activity is carpentry. He's got like a wood shop that he just like tinkers around in. He just got a lathe and is making bowls, and he's very excited about it. And this is not at all based on my dad's retirement activities.
Yes.
And for Maven moves, I chose Michael Knight, which is that you have a trusty mode of transportation that gets you out of more than one sticky situation. And so Val has a 1967 VW camper van named Gloria. And he and Leander used to do like long road trips in their camper van, and he's kept it in very good shape.
Yay! So good. And the first item in your cozy space is your camper van, Gloria.
Yes.
So amazing. Who wants to go next? And popcorn. An item.
You have like a saw that is like, just a really good trusty saw that is used for woodworking or also murder if you so choose. But mostly woodworking.
What? Nah.
At this point now.
And it hasn't failed you yet.
Yeah. Everyone has to have at least one murder implement. That's
Yes.
One murder tool.
Minimum one.
I'm gonna say that you have a really, really nice tea set, because Frog and Toad were always drinking tea together. So it's like bone porcelain, and it's got the gold edges. It's enough for 8 people. It's very, very nice.
excellent.
You also have for your camper van a complete collection, like a complete CD collection. Like, let's say there's probably like 40 of them, where they're all very like David Attenborough-esque, of like various topics, but mostly about Earth and like random little areas.
Birds.
Also birds.
Birds.
Anything. There's at least
Nature
2
doc.
on birds. There's subsections about like, there's at least 3 CDs just on birds, but the rest are like various like just otherworldly like random stuff. But you are missing,
Like TED
let's
Talks.
say, yeah, like TED Talks. But you are like in this collection, I'm gonna say you're at least missing like maybe like 3 or 4 CDs, so it's incomplete collection. But you have most of them.
I'm working on it.
Can I
Almost there.
pitch? Can I pitch that one of the bird CDs is fully just about ducks?
Just
Yeah.
ducks.
Ducks, what's quacking?
Yes!
And I am going to bequeath upon you a small wooden pipe with a
Ooh,
dragon
yes.
carved onto it from
Yes.
your late husband, and a plentiful supply of vanilla pipe tobacco, because that's
Excellent.
amazingly the coziest.
Yes.
Yes. All right. Who was after? It was Haley, I believe, right?
Me. Yeah.
Yeah. So your style, cozy activity, Maven move, and then we'll do the items.
So my style is I pick like the hippy dippy. So it's like lots of scarves and shawls and like dangly bangles and stuff like that. And whenever she's baking, she like ties her hair up in a scarf. And her cozy activity is still baking. She still sometimes like just bakes things for fun and then like brings them to the shop and sells them there. And also just for like family and friends and stuff. So she has like a really nice kitchen for that. And then my move. My move is Tim Tim. So I have a large I think it basically just says like you have a dog who can understand what you say almost perfectly with almost perfect comprehension. So very, very smart. If we unveil layer 5 of the dark conspiracy, then the dog will gain the power of speech, but only I will be able to understand it. So I hope to get there because I need it. My dog is an Irish wolfhound. So if you haven't seen those, they're like
beautiful.
standing on all fours, like 5 feet to the shoulder. Like they're fucking giant. And his name is Sesame Steve. His full name is Stephen Sesame Bagel Wiseman, but Sesame Steve for short, and various nicknames and variations thereupon. And that he also is part of my cozy little place, of course, because he's my bestie. He understands both English and Yiddish because he's a good he's a good man. Good mention.
In the time-honored tradition of our home D&D game where everything is named Steve.
Yes.
Incredible, yes. Good. And yeah, if anyone wants to name a little item for Miriam's cozy little place.
I had an idea and it immediately fled my brain, so...
No.
So fair.
This might go on record for the most useless item, but I do really like it that you have like one of those industrial like dough mixers in your kitchen for all of your baking that you do. It's got, you know, the big old hook and you just dump everything into it. That too could be a murder weapon, really.
Yeah, it could be.
And it hasn't failed
Just
yet.
gotta be. It's gotta be creative.
In my
is it one of
heart,
those like really fucking giant ones?
Oh yeah, like
really...
it's as tall as you, probably. You like bring over these bags of flowers and just dump it all in.
Yeah, I love it.
Perfect.
I hope you know, for your character Miriam, for some reason, just it came to me as like a vision. I'm like, a skateboard. I don't know why. There's no reason for this, but I feel like Miriam, I bequeath you a skateboard. Whether this is your skateboard and you use it is up to you. But I had this intense reaction. I'm like, skateboard. Like, no hesitation. Like, this is skateboard. There's a skateboard.
It's so funny you say that because she looks like an older version of every girl I knew in university who had a longboard.
Excellent.
It's
a longboard.
She does still use it, and like just mostly to like fuck with the youths. She'll skate past the skate park and just very like, "What's up, fellow youths?" like energy.
Excellent.
And yes, it's very.
She just does like a kick flip, no big deal, skates away.
Yes.
Dabs, but
yes. Just...
Bad girl coven energy.
Iconic.
Yes. Oh my god.
So what I will bequeath unto you is like, you know those like woven like seagrass like baskets that are just like really nice and you just like carry a lot of stuff in it and they're like I don't know, a lot of older hippies have them. I stay with a lot of older hippies in my life.
Yes.
So you've got just a really nice useful basket for carrying stuff.
Nice.
Carrying capacity unlimited.
Yes. It's a
basket of holding.
Yes. Love it.
And he's trying to think. Actually, I think that I'm to have you have a dog whistle that has been engraved, that was given to you by your ex-husband as sort of like a gift for when you got the dog and such, and the whistle is very audible to the dog and within like 3 blocks.
Nice.
So summoning is
summon familiar.
effective.
Okay.
Ooh, I love that.
Could be summon speed if it's
love
big
it.
enough.
Whistle of summon familiar.
Yes. Well, the dog's
Amazing.
not
I love
this
it.
time.
It's literally just Rowan's dog whistle in our D&D game.
Yes!
The dog is also named Steve.
Tiny Steve!
Yes.
Tiny Steve lives again.
Tiny Steve.
Except giant this time.
Hey, Tiny Steve is just giant Sesame Steve.
Giant Sesame Steve. Incredible. What a brand. What a brand.
It'd be a good way to be.
Yes. Good. Okay, that was everyone for Haley then, yes?
Mhm.
Yes. I think B was next, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So obviously the outfit style is like those visor golf caps, like athletic wear. You know those half zipper ones, like that comes up like stops here. Those
Mhm.
ones,
Yeah.
and it's like really nice, like
Mm.
like
The
always like nice soft
plasticky.
like fleece, like
Oh,
but it's
fleece.
breathable too.
Is it sweat wicking?
It's wet wicking. Always in sneakers, like but like really good. One of those like super thick rubber because it's like
Thick.
they need to be good on the knees. So like
Mm.
like the joints like got to make sure when you're running around. So like yeah, that's
With the
the
rocker
entire
sole.
mood.
Oh.
Exactly. Yes. Yes.
Rocker sole.
Yeah.
Incredible.
And then I don't know how to. I forget what the pronunciation for her skill is, but it's the herbalist one.
Cat file?
Yeah.
What is it?
Yes, that was it.
Cat
Cat
file.
file. I was
Oh,
like,
okay.
it was some. Couldn't remember. So yeah, that is what she's like. Not working out, usually gardening, making sure like this looks good. Really like water pastel like is one of her favorite like things that she has, I guess. Like like a really nice like stocked like kitchen, but for like just like herbs and stuff and all that as well.
Yes. Hell yeah.
And then what was the other? Did I just say everything in a row? I said Cadville and
Cozy
then
activity.
and my cozy activity. Oh yes, what did I pick? I forgot now. Oh, which is the
Antiquing, was it?
antiquing. Yes, I did remember that. I was
Yes.
like, sorry, I like had it up and then I couldn't find it because it's like in the I forgot that was in the threads and all that as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, totally.
So yeah, antiquing is one of those like but mainly trinkets rather than like furnitures is what she was usually into. So it's like yeah, that would be what she was into. My brain just critically shut off just now.
It's okay.
What
I
a
have an item
mood.
and I'm so excited about it, so I want to say it.
Oh, excellent. Go on.
Yeah.
So you have one of those like old-timey doctor bags with the little bottles and like the packets of like you can do like the dried
Yes.
herbs and your own like little pill
Ooh.
press and just like
Mm.
old recipes of whatever tinctures that they had made before. So and you found it in
love
an
that.
antique shop. Yeah.
I do love this.
Good.
Very. From me, you have a trophy from an athletic competition of your choosing.
Ooh.
Let me see.
How
Let me
heavy
think.
is it?
Heavy enough to kill a man.
Yes.
Has it killed you yet?
Murder.
What's the one where you're in the
Bad
room
foot?
and you're no the
Racquetball?
ball
Squash.
Squash.
Racquetball?
Squash.
Oh
Squash.
my
Wait, wait.
god.
Squash.
It's both.
There's
It's
two
the same
different
thing.
things.
Oh, it
The
is?
one where you're like
Yeah, they are they're vaguely different.
Is it different? Okay, is it still played in a room? You wear little white shorts?
Yes.
And hair?
Yeah.
Okay, then that, yeah.
Yeah. So okay,
Little
so you
white
have
shorts are
the
important.
you have a first place squash trophy from like a national championship from about 40 years ago.
excellent. Like she's good at like basically like getting around in those tight corners. So this will be fun.
Yeah.
She's dodgy.
Are you winning, son?
Yes, she is. She's competitive.
She's destroying.
I love this. Yes.
All right, I'm going back on the useless trinket train. You have okay, because you like trinkets and antiquing. So you have like a really ugly ceramic thing of like a baby.
Oh Yeah.
Like,
Ugly
those
as
awful
ceramic.
ceramic children.
Yeah.
But it's got
Is
like a
it
little like
painted?
yes. Oh yeah, like
Yes.
garishly painted.
Yes.
But crucially, it has like a little like hidey place in it, so you can
Okay.
hide things in it. You can hide things in your hideous
Is
ceramic
it a
cake.
puzzle box? Is it a puzzle box?
Oh, I was just thinking it has like a little just like funny hole you can hide things in.
And your
So
hair is
cool.
I'm going to
So
look up.
cursed.
I want to look up what this I'll
What's it
find the
gonna-
perfect one and then I'll post it later.
Yes,
Good
please.
day.
Please.
And from me, you're going to have a well-worn and highly annotated book of herbal remedies.
Wonderful. Which
And
goes in
this-
the doctor bag.
Yes.
Indeed, but it's like substantially thick.
Yes.
And you've
excellent.
written
She's
notes in
thick.
the
Pliny the
margin, you've put
Elders.
some samples inside, and yeah, you could definitely bludgeon someone quite easily with it.
Yes.
Wonderful. I also would like to know that I found it. I found what this
Oh.
jar is going to be.
You found the
Um,
child.
Send it to the Discord.
Yeah, and then Lee, you could
Child.
like put this picture
Oh,
up later if you
mhm.
want.
Yeah,
This is
we
what
will.
it is.
Yes. So cursed. Oh
Wait,
god.
where are you sending
Oh,
it?
I hate that so much.
Yeah.
Oh no! Oh, that's
even more
heinous.
cursed than I was expecting.
That's
and I
a
was expecting a
crime.
haunted doll.
That's a
Yeah.
crime.
That's perfect. That is exactly
Oh,
what you have.
no.
This is
And
it. This,
the cup is hollow and you can
Yeah.
hide things in it.
yes, yes.
But people expect to hide things in the cup, so what if it has a second compartment in the head so that you
In
can
the
pick
big-
no.
off and put stuff
Yes.
in there too?
Yes. That's
Excellent.
worse,
Okay.
and I love it.
Yes. Good. Okay, was that everyone for B?
Yes, I believe so.
Yes. Okay,
Yes.
then I think, is it just Mary Lee? Are we at the end?
Yeah, I think it's.
I
just
think so.
Okay. Yes.
Um,
We did.
okay, so my character's aesthetic is all the cardigans very much in the Miss Marple aspect of cardigans, so like skirts below the knee, probably wrinkly stockings and shoes with little buckles and stuff, and just upswept curly white hair. Her cozy activity is knitting because I cannot help myself, and
It's called
Yay.
method
Her-
acting.
just getting really in the character. And her maven move is Angus MacGyver, which is when you improvise in a situation using whatever is at hand, you ask the other players and the keeper to name 3 objects that you find in the environment. And so long as you can give a plausible explanation for how one or more of these objects will help you with an action, you can have advantage on a single roll related to that action.
I
Yay.
love that.
Excellent.
All right, I immediately know what I'm giving you. You have a sword, Kane.
Yes!
Two canes.
Yes.
Oh.
Hell yes.
We are cane buddies.
Incredible. Amazing.
Ooh. You have a little portable knitting and sewing kit that you can like wear kind of around you as a satchel, and also like might help with your MacGyvering because you can like sew bits of like random stuff together and you bring it everywhere with you. And also you're like, you know, at cons, those people that go as like cosplay medics or whatever,
Yeah,
where you
yes.
just like, you know, if someone has like a ripped thing or a ripped bag, you're someone who
Yes.
just like sees it from across the street and you're like someone who has like ripped their bag and go across and you're like, I can fix that for you right now.
Yes.
With like the little battery pack for the hot glue gun and all that
Yes.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah, you just have like a clothing repair kit with you at all times.
Nice.
Love it.
It's not that goes with your like activities, but I think it goes with your vibe. I think you have a suspiciously good printer in your house. Like-
Yes.
Right, for
like
forging
it's
documents.
really good.
That's very funny.
That
Is
feels
it
like
my
Edna.
ID? You may never truly know.
Yeah. This
Imagine
feels
all
like
your
Edna to me.
neighborhood kids come over when they have to
They-
print off a report or something.
Because
Like,
they want fake
those-
IDs.
Yeah, just like it's my side hustle actually is selling fake IDs to high schoolers.
yeah, yeah. Anyone who needs those high-res glossy JPEGs, they know where to go.
Yep.
I love it.
For me, I do have an idea, but would a subscription service, is that like, would that fit in the vibe of Cozy Little Place? Because what I'm thinking of
I think so.
is basically like, okay, great. Because I'm thinking of like the newspaper subscription service, but like from like a lot of random, like as well, like different counties, not just like Brindlewood Bays. You have a
Ooh.
subscription service to like probably like at least 3 of the local like adjacent counties. I'm also thinking maybe one of your hometown, well, is another subscription service, and probably 2 more places of your choosing. But basically you just have a lot of like newspaper subscription services that go to you. So I feel like you're always like in the know.
An information network.
Yes.
Mm. I love that.
It was either that or like subscription to like one of those like craft boxes. But I was like, I feel like newspaper would be more.
I mean, she'd be the one that makes the craft boxes and then sends them out.
Aw, cute.
Lovely.
Good. Hell yes. Okay, why don't we've been going for almost an hour. Why don't we'll do a break in a couple minutes here, but I'm going to present the mystery to you guys first because there's a couple things you'll need to know. So basically the complexity of this mystery is complexity 7. That just means that when we get to sort of the end, when you guys are like putting together all the clues, you need to have minimum half rounding up of the complexity. So you would need to have minimum 4 clues for complexity 7. But just keeping in mind that when we get to the stage where you're using the theorize move, and like we'll explain all this as we go, but when you get to that stage where you're theorizing, the more clues you have over 4 is actually going to bring down the difficulty of the roll you're making. So more clues always better, but you need a minimum of 4 to solve the mystery. All right. And I'm just going to give you a little bit of an intro to the mystery that we're doing, which is from, actually, this is amazing. And I was so happy I found this, but it's just from the Brindlewood Bay core rule book. I believe the one we're using is version 3 or the 3rd edition. It is an extremely cute mystery. So I'm just going to hop in and give you some flavor text. But it's a very exciting time in Brindlewood Bay because one of the most popular television programs in the world is filming a special series in Brindlewood Bay. You, the Murder Mavens, have been lucky enough to compete on this show, and you've made it through to the actual televised portion of the show and are so excited to be participating in the Jolly Good Baking Show. So we zoom in on like a film production studio, and you've got. It's so hard for me not to say the real people's names that these characters are based off of because I've been watching so much Bake-Off to prepare for this. It's quite challenging. But the camera zooms in, and you've got like the beautiful outdoor setup. You've got a white tent set up in the middle. They've got the little like the counters, the stoves, like the whole setup all ready to go. This idyllic greenery setting. And the camera zooms in on Jane Leaf, who is a British icon in the baking world. And it zooms in and she's sort of presenting to the camera and she just says, "Welcome to another series of the Jolly Good Baking Show." And we're going to take a quick break there, just so we can stretch our legs a little bit. So we'll come back in 10 minutes max kind of thing. I'll hop back in probably in about 5.
Okay. Hello.
Hello?
Hello. Hello.
Hello?
Things you start saying ironically and then accidentally end up saying for real.
Yes. Yes. Hell.
Not a problem
yes.
until you're on a work call.
Ooh, rip.
Having to
Good.
explain where it comes from to a coworker. Bad.
You've explained worse to your coworker.
This is true.
Anytime you have to start explaining a meme, you just realize how terribly unfunny you are.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh no, this isn't funny without context.
Oh no, my humor is entirely reliant on the internet.
Lee and I trying to explain what a blorbo was earlier today to someone.
I tried to explain blorbo to my coworker. That was a cool conversation I had at work.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
no. That was rough.
Yes. Oh my god. Good. Okay. Why don't we hop back in to the Jolly Good Baking Show? I'm going to say, why don't we hop back? Let's, it's like a television program, so we'll rewind a little bit. Let's cut back for a moment.
You're probably wondering how we got here.
Yeah. From scratch. You're probably wondering how we got here. Right.
Because we definitely don't know.
Could you tell us?
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Just for context, right? Like this is not the first time you're meeting each other. You're all part of the Murder Mavens book club. So you all know each other. You're pretty well acquainted. Probably some of you might have carpooled in Gloria to get here, you know? So you all kind of roll up into this building. There's sort of like a film studio, and then the actual filming taking place outside in the iconic tent, naturally. But you all roll up. Yeah. You walk inside, everything is really bustling, right? Like there's call times, the production assistants are all there, everyone is like rushing to and fro, trying to like get someone to makeup and get someone else to wardrobe, and it's a little hectic. As you're walking in, a PA kind of accidentally knocks into you, Lee, into Mariana, and kind of drops like a stack of books. They look like some cookbooks that have been signed by Jane Leaf, who is one of the judges, and Paul Riviera, who is the other judge. So it looks like this stack of
Nice.
Again, so hard for me not to say all of these real people's names. Tragic. But yeah, so you kind of this PA knocks into you a little bit, like they're just walking really fast, having a hard time like seeing where they're going over this stack of cookbooks, and you kind of like they're crouched down like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, I just didn't see you there, I'm just trying to get these out of the way.
It's okay, let me help you. Starts helping her pick up the book.
Thank you.
You seem so busy.
Yeah, filming days, it's pretty rough around, but I love it. It's gonna look great on my resume. It's gonna be, I love the show so much. Yeah.
Does she look like she's like on the verge of tears?
This is the vibe
I'm getting here. I love my job.
They do look like they do that combination of like it's doing something you love, but you're not getting paid, and also the hours are terrible and it's rough. But you're doing what you love, so there's that. But yeah, so they pick up kind of the last cookbook. It sort of like covers their face, which is maybe why they're having trouble seeing where they're going, and they just kind of scurry off to kind of get these books out of the way. You do find as you're standing up that they must have missed one of the little sheafs of paper that fell out of the books, and you actually find what looks like a ripped off corner of maybe like a call sheet or something. There's got some like names and times up in the top corner, but like the meaningful part of it has been ripped off, so you can't quite tell. But someone has written a message in like black Sharpie, and it just says, "You know what you did."
Ooh. Okay.
Because that's your ability. That's
my move.
That's not ominous at all.
Hair crowing.
It's probably not relevant to this mystery, It's probably
So it's a call sheet, but all the information's ripped off.
Again, probably not relevant. It's just
Thanks.
you know how it is, yeah.
Yeah, she just kind of looks around the tent and then folds it up and puts it in her pocket.
Yeah. Good. But yeah, another person, an older sort of man kind of meets you at the door as well, and he kind of comes up. He's like, sorry, actually, I've changed my mind. As you guys enter, a kind of younger guy comes up, and he's kind of got like dusty blonde-ish hair. He's wearing like a t-shirt that like the kind like sometimes when you just get the impression that a guy is wearing a t-shirt that's like maybe just a size too small. But he's got like the pecs and he's got the shoulders and he's got like a big camera, like he's one of the camera folks.
Steve Rogers energy.
I'm so sorry, he does have Steve Rogers energy for sure. He's just like a big golden retriever, and so he kind of comes up, he's like,
why do you run into me?
Sorry. Roll to run into this random camera.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, of course. But he approaches the group of you. He just says, "Hey, I'm Buck. I'm one of the camera guys. I'll be filming today. I'm gonna show you over to the tent, get you settled at the tables. The first round isn't gonna start for another 15-20 minutes, but I'll get you guys set up. So, let me know if you need anything."
What am I doing here? Am I a contestant? Or...
Yes.
Am I in the audience? What's happening?
Yes. All of you are contestants.
Okay,
so
cool.
This very exciting. The Jolly Good Baking Show is doing a Brindlewood Bay special. And you all have been lucky enough to make it through the rounds of like trials where they kind of like test out various people to see like, are you good enough to be on the show? Do you have good chemistry? Do you have a good TV personality? And all of you, through virtue of your wits and your baking prowess and your stunning personalities, have landed on this show. Yes. Yes. So,
Miriam is extremely confident, and she's just like, yeah,
Gonna take it home.
I got this.
Yes, 100%.
Sweet.
I imagine Miriam fully like pulls out like her own personalized set of like measuring cups or something. Like,
Oh yeah.
yeah. She's just that type. She's like,
she brings her own equipment. She has this like bag, and she pulls out like it's like a clown car situation. Like she pulls out way more like cooking equipment and ingredients than should reasonably fit in the bag. It's just like unreasonable.
somehow she pulls out like her full stand mixer from this little bag, and it's like, that's not okay.
It's not how physics work.
You do not question.
I have a very important question, and that is, what week is it? Like, what is it? Bread week? Is it?
What week is it? Yes. This one works a little differently. They're kind of doing like, it's a bit of a shorter season because it's more expensive, right? Like they had to get over to the US and like, there's just some logistics they had to deal with. So they've kind of combined 2 weeks into one day, which is wild. But so today is going to be the pie and mystery week. So the first challenge is going to be pie. The second one later this afternoon, wild card. Yes. But yeah, Buck shows you over to your stations. He says, all of the stuff that you need is going to be in the drawers, in the cabinets underneath, the oven. There's a couple of rules I just want to go over with you guys. Basically, anything important happening at your station, flag me, wave me over, just yell, scream, I'll come over and film it. We got to do all the edits. We got to do clean cuts, a shot from every angle. So just holler. I will, if you got to get that shit in the oven, I will vault a counter. I will be there. All right. So give me a shout. I'll come over, film it. Yeah. I'm everywhere. All right. You can't keep me still. So I will be there.
Can
I love him.
Yako, like while after Buck finished talking, can she do like just a fun punch like to like the arm? Like, I like your energy. You've got a good head on your shoulders.
Roll to hit? No. Just kidding.
Just text him. Just no, but you know, like one of the like,
Initiate combat.
Roll initiative.
What's Buck's
Absolutely.
AC?
He rubs his arm and he's like, that hurt. And then like actually rubs his arm a little like, oh, that did hurt. You got a mean arm on you.
Yako actually currently has like arm weights on. Like, you know, like his armpit probably has like arm weights.
I'm sorry, are you fully doing a Rock Lee situation? I'm sorry?
No.
When they get to the showstopper, they're just gonna drop the weights.
10
Now
minutes
it's
left. All right,
competition.
let's go.
Rocky music starts playing.
Oh no, I'm dying. This is so good. Amazing. But yeah, Buck gets you guys all set up. He kind of like goes off. There's a few other contestants. Let me check my notes. There's a couple of contestants you haven't gotten to know super well. A couple of like younger kids in the community who like they've tried to go for like a pretty broad spectrum of people, personalities. So there's some younger people you might not be super familiar with. There is another person you know. Melanie Blair, who is a community member. Her parents used to own a bakery that when you were all young, you probably went to her parents' bakery because it was quite an iconic Brindlewood Bay institution. But so she's here. She's kind of like a little bit of a frazzled, intense person. She's got like a very sheer, straight bob cut, dark hair, sort of like olive skin.
I'm just gonna write Edna's enemy down here.
Yes, she's just reverse Edna.
Okay, also, can I add that after I retired from New York and moved to the community, I still like, I would bring like baking to all these like bake sales, and there was a rivalry between her mom
Ooh, that'd be
and
good.
me, and our like
Even better.
like baked goods rivalry.
The PTA meetings
Yes.
were intense.
Yes, like big PTA rivalry energy.
You both
Yes,
like bring a different kind of
100%.
cookies to the PCA meeting.
Yeah.
Question.
And just like
parent
every
teacher
time
arena.
just
Who's better?
one-upping each other.
Yeah.
Just one-upping each other.
How physically
She's-
active is Melanie?
Not very.
What kind of question?
All right. Again,
Melanie seems like the person who told everyone at the bake sale that was being run by Miriam, told everyone to bring banana bread, so everyone thought that Miriam just brought banana bread, and so it just sort of backfired and stuff. So that's the kind of person Melody is.
Bitch. No, sorry.
Is it Melanie's mom that owned a bakery?
Yeah, Melanie's parents.
Okay, what are their names so I can write it down? Because I hate
Endless.
Your enemies list.
Buffering. Melanie, I'm gonna say Nigel and Daphne.
Okay.
You're gonna
Daphne
remember
is
that
my-
'cause I'm not.
I'm writing it down. Daphne is my sworn enemy.
Yes.
Daphne must die.
You know, we're just here to make friends and make enemies. So that's
We already are friends,
like-
so the only thing left is
Yeah.
to make enemies.
I'm like a very sweet, loving person, except I'm just like, yeah, but fuck Daphne.
fuck her in particular. Like, nah. Good. You guys actually can see Melanie. She's kind of standing like away in a little corner. There's a little like, I'm I'm not sure what to call it, but there's a little corner of the pavilion that's kind of like, it's done up a little cute. Like there's like a fridge, it's got some magnets of like some iconic Brindlewood Bay tourist attractions and things. It's like clearly where they want contestants to go to do like a little film spot. So Melanie is over there with a producer, Heath Hendricks, who you've met before. He's kind of the go-to guy who's really been like helping you during this competition, getting you situated, making sure you're comfortable, letting you know how it works. And so she's over there with him and Buck the cameraman again. They're doing like a little, get to know you sort of filming thing with her. So you guys can overhear a little bit of this where she's kind of talking and she's like, the little strain that you overhear is kind of like bits are cut out, but it's kind of like, yes, it's true that my parents owned a bakery in Brindlewood Bay. Sadly, it's gone out of business. It's been out of business for a number of years now. Yes, it coincidentally did go out of business when Paul Riviera's baking chain opened up a location right across the street. But I love the Jolly Good Baking Show so much. I would never hold it against him. It's just, it's such a part of my childhood. I really just love this show so, so much. So you overhear that little snippet, you know? But yeah, so I am going to say, just really quick, since I'm doing a couple of little introductions, obviously, you know Jane Leaf, the iconic British cook and baker, who is one of the judges. Paul Riviera is the other, who is kind of like, a middle-aged, slightly past middle-aged. I'm so sorry to the real people. I don't know how to describe them. But anyways, Paul Riviera, he's got like, salt and pepper, little more salt kind of hair. He's got a little bit of facial hair. He's got steely blue eyes. He's really like Jane Leaf is the icon of British baking, but Paul Riviera is like, he's got a bit more of a hard edge, and like getting the handshake from him is just like, that's it, folks. That's why you're here. You want that Paul Riviera handshake. So they're kind of off at sort of the judges, in front of the judges counter. They're just kind of talking amongst themselves. And you also have Sue Mellon, who is one of the presenters, who you've kind of been chatting with already as you're filming the first few weeks of this contest. And she's quite boisterous. She was a British comedian. She still is, just her career is sort of, she's kind of moved on to hosting at this point because she doesn't do a lot of comedy stuff anymore. Her career was kind of plateauing, and that's just what people say though, right? Like, she's still got it. She's so funny. You know.
Oh.
Yeah, other than that, you guys have the other contestants, you have yourselves. So why don't we start each of you is going to have like a little TV moment, right? Like the little get to know you with Buck the camera guy and Heath the producer. What we're going to do, let me just make sure I didn't miss anything really quick. Each of you is going to do this TV moment, and the question that Heath, the producer, is going to ask you is just, I'll get into character, my motivations. All right, so I'm just going to get you in front of Buck in this corner here. We're going to do a little quick TV snippet for you just to run during the ads, the promo reels. The question is going to be, the Jolly Good Baking Show is connected to one of your favorite memories. What is that memory? So he's going to pull each of you aside and just do this little quick snippet with you guys to set the tone. Should we roll dice to see who goes first?
I love
first.
chance.
I got something.
Or does it... Oh, you want to volunteer?
Yeah, I can just go first.
Yeah! What's that memory?
Well, when I was first starting out at the restaurant that I was working at, there was... we had the big TVs up because it was a smaller town. Lots of people like to come here to watch the big games. And so we had the TVs going on. It was like a Tuesday night, and so there's no games going on, and it was quite empty. And I saw the Jolly Good Baking Show. It was airing for the first time in America. It was one of the newer shows, and coming over with the popularity of other British TV shows. And I just really got a feel for all of the energy that was going on behind the baking. And I've been cooking my whole life, but it really is kind of a different world of baking, and I just fell in love with all of the people that were running the show and the way that everyone interacted, and it was nice to have that little moment looking into a different kind of the world that I was in every Tuesday night at the restaurant.
Heath is kind of like, he like kind of looks over, scans at you. He's like, right, good, we got it. Yeah, good. That's it. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for your
Shuffle
time. Head back on over to your station. I gotta grab the next person.
Yep.
So he reels in his next victim here to do the Stevie spot. Anyone want to go next?
Go, I guess. I'll...
Yeah. So he
Okay.
kind of like, he stations you in front of the fridge. He does like,
Well, as a professional baker myself, Havanosh still thriving in the Brooklyn area. I've always been a big fan of. There's something I watch to relax, and the fun that I have, shouting my opinions at the TV. It's been one of my great joys in my retirement, especially. But even before I retired, I often had it on, even playing occasionally within my own bakery in the background. It's just a show that I've loved for many, many years, and it's an absolute joy to be here.
he's kind of like looking at his phone, scrolling through, glances up at you like, yeah, good, we're done. Yeah, love it. So sentimental, so touching. Love it. Love that.
You could just say like complete bullshit, just like nonsense, and then be like, yeah, good.
So perfect. I loved when you talked about baking. Yeah, love that. No. So yeah, he sends you back, reels in the next person. Who we got next? Or should I just pick a victim? Yeah, Rowan. Okay, excellent. Kind of stations you where where the lighting's good, where he wants the shot. He's like, all right, you ready? Dude.
No, I've been a fan of this show for many years. My late husband was very into British television. Always tried to record. We were often off on trips, so we would record television. We'd have a friend record anything we missed, so we would always come back and catch up. And so yeah, I in my retirement, trying to keep busy, I took up baking, and my kids say that I'm pretty decent, so I'm just happy to be here. I think it's going to be a good time.
Again, he's kind of like shifting through some papers. He kind of looks up like, all right, perfect. You nailed it. Just knocked it out of the park. Just love that. Love to hear it. All right, next. All right, 2 more. Who we got next?
I'm down to go.
Yeah, B.
But
Kinda.
how like so the question will probably go cut as like the question like like what's your memory? But Yako starts off as like, do I like baking? Not necessarily.
Yes.
But it's all about the challenge, and my wife, she really liked the show, and I was going through some old like books. Our son also was bringing it up again about how like this show, like he always liked Sue, you're always liked Sue and all that as well, and would always watch it. And I like recipes, and I like writing down these things, and it's like it can't be hard, right? Always like winning stuff, always triumphing over every little thing you don't think you can get to. Well, that's why I'm here.
Oh my god.
He kind of like looks up. He's like, I'm gonna be honest with you. You seem cool. I wasn't really listening. Did you answer the question?
Oh, yeah, how are you?
I mean, honestly, no one asked me how I'm doing, so I'm doing great, thank you.
I wonder why.
That's
yeah.
tragic. I probably, look, answering the questions. Yes, we probably all answer the questions eventually, don't we?
We sure do. That's amazing. Love to hear it. Next. Edna, we'll do you.
Sort of wanders over. It's like, I watched the show. The only thing that I actually can bake is cookies, but apparently people like them, so I'm here. But as I have watched the show, I realized that every group needs someone to start crying and then lie down on the floor. So I'm hopefully going to be taking that role because right now that's how I'm feeling. Yes.
You know what? They tell me it's pie week. What is a pie if not just a really big cookie? So it's
Sure, that's a cake.
yeah, sure. It's one or the other. I get them. You know, they're all the same.
Me both.
Pleasure talking to you all. Next, and he goes off to the next people in
If
the
they-
row behind you.
If they cut off to like when Edna's walking off, Yako's definitely giving like the.
You go. Yes.
So good. I love our
Hell
jock
yes.
Gma. It's very good.
Yeah. Yeah. I love this. Okay.
Look, we have a
good.
baker already, so I've decided that Yako's the anti-baker, like just here for vibes only.
Just here to vibe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Excellent. I love it.
Yes. Good. As you guys are kind of settling in, you know, getting everything set up to your liking, one of the other contestants kind of walks in as well, and he is British, and you thought he was maybe part of the production staff at first because, I mean, it's a Brindlewood Bay special. The contestants are all from Brindlewood Bay. You've not seen him in town before, but maybe he just moved here recently, right? Who's to say? Scott Lamb. Yeah, he's just in town. Scott Lamb is one of the other contestants, and he kind of like walks up in front of the counter in between where all of you are stationed. He's like, "All right, loves, what do we think of the competition? Everyone ready to go?"
Ready as I'll ever
Ah.
be.
Don't all speak up at once.
Oh, I'm
Bit
very
of a slow
ready.
start, eh?
Definitely
Very ready.
very ready.
Very ready. Wow. I love your energy, all of you. You know? I can see it looks like you're contenders, you know. I'm gunning for that top spot. I want that star baker.
We're not
so,
just contenders, honey. We're winners.
Son, I've owned and operated my own bakery since before your parents were born. So you can
all right.
take the.
No need to get defensive, eh? I'm just making a little small talk.
And this one's Scott
I
Lamb
mean-
that we're talking to?
Scott Lamb,
Is he
yeah.
a known entity in the town? Like, do we know him?
Interesting.
Because you said there's a
He
British
is-
guy and Scott Lamb, right? It's not. it's
Sorry,
not-
Scott Lamb is the British guy.
Oh, okay, that you don't know.
I mean,
okay, sorry.
There's so many.
Around
British
how old?
guys in
How
this.
old is he? Is he young?
Age is really hard for me. It's hard to describe. It's hard to gauge. I'm gonna say though he's like in his 30s.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe late
Yeah.
30s. I don't know how old anyone is.
How does-
Late 30s.
Okay.
It's kind of like, all right. I didn't mean anything by it. Just, you know. Hi, if you think you're going to be a winner, I mean, it'll be you and me in that last round. So, looking forward to seeing you there.
Can
And,
Yako also punch his shoulder? Like, I like the energy. Can always go into it
I
full.
bruise easily.
Oh well,
Just watch,
know,
watch
well,
the gun show there. Mm.
well, if you bruise easily, you probably need to like balance your diet a little bit more. Like, are you eating enough?
There should be
Nothing
ice
on
in
fire.
There's really not a good pub in town, honestly. I just, you know, I really can't find a good place to get some nice chips. There's not a good chippy. What are you doing here that you don't have a good chippy? Anyways.
Well, that's exactly why you bruise easily. You don't have enough like meat on those bones. What? It's your lamb? Come on, there needs to be a little bit more lamb in your diet, Mr. Scotland.
All right. I'll take you up on it. After the competition's done, you can coach me or whatever your team is.
Yeah.
Listen. Because you've given me this meaningful life advice, whatever. I'll give you a hint. You have to make sure that you bake pies, right? Pies can be tough.
Bake the pie.
Make sure you make sure you bake it. Make sure you really bake the crust. Make sure it's not. Listen, the last thing you want is a soggy bottom, because believe me, Paul likes a firm, uncomplicated bottom. But
Don't we all?
I think
I'm so sorry. I have to say, this book is phenomenal. That's literally the flavor text for this character in the book.
Nice.
And it's astonishing. Like,
Good.
Firm, uncomplicated bottom. You know?
perfect,
Goals. I mean goals.
I think Yako will be like, yeah, kind of like turn and be like, not a
Wait.
euphemism, that's a slang, that's a like to like the rest of the mavens. Like, is it?
Val just
Miriam.
Val was just like,
No, it's okay.
yeah.
Incredible.
I wasn't aware there was so much crossover in the lingo. Good to know.
Baking is for the gays, darling.
He kind of looks over his shoulders like, don't I know it? Incredible.
This is a gays only event.
I haven't run any other Brindlewood Bay games, but this is already my favorite.
No, this is great.
Yes. Okay. I think. Okay. This one is a little like this adventure mystery is a little more structured just because of like the nature of like the baking competition. But do you guys want to take a moment like amongst yourselves, like just vibe?
So what other kinds of like contests have we done? We did like some entry level stuff to get into here, like.
Yeah, I mean, you probably did. There's like a cookie week.
Nailed it.
Nailed it. Cookie, pie, cake. What else? Meringues. There's maybe been a meringue week.
Oh,
Rowan, do
yeah.
you know? I forget what all the weeks are.
Oh, there's always a chocolate week. Listen, I've watched an unconscionable amount of
Uncomfortable.
Great British
Yeah.
Bake-Off.
Yeah.
Is there like a French pastry week or something?
So
Ooh.
as the series goes on, they started switching it up a lot more. I know too much. But yeah, no, there's some kind of pastry. There's a cookie week. Bread week.
But we are
There's, like,
competing
tables.
against each other, or is it a group
Pies.
thing?
Against
No,
each
it's-
other.
it's against-
Okay, so the Mariana is just kind of trying to be casual about conversation, just keeping her secrets about what she's gonna bake. So,
Yes. Good.
is anybody nervous?
Yes.
Have you
No,
been thinking
I-
about what to make?
I've been thinking about it a lot. I've my kids gave me some really good input. They said try a savory pie. You know, I think not a lot of people will do that,
Ooh,
and I think
Oh.
that's
that
a
might
great
go over well.
idea.
Hmm.
Definitely didn't think of that. Also.
Great idea. It's good.
Yes.
Alright, well.
I'm just like Val is definitely. I feel like it's not applicable for this week as much, but Val is definitely one of those like guys who will like bring in their own like molds or whatever, like handmade.
Mm.
Like
Ooh,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
he's the like
nice.
structural engineer when they're doing like
Mm.
cookies.
So good.
Good.
Yes. Okay. Excellent.
We want to go get set up.
Yeah. You guys can get set up. Everyone, they're just about ready to begin filming. It looks like Buck and Heath both kind of zero in on the judges again. They head over. They start filming just like a little bit of intro reel. So they're just kind of going, and he's kind of asking questions, and Jane Leaf is answering like, well, this week is pies. So we're going to see everyone's take on a very traditional, very classic sort of dessert. And I'm very interested to see who might be coming out with something new and unique, a real twist on the classic. But having said that, if they get too ambitious, I hate to see how it might go wrong. And Paul is there as well, and he's just kind of like, a little bit more stoic behind her. Just, well, all that matters at the end is the quality of the bake. You want to make sure it's not in the oven for too long. You don't want to see it getting too brown and crispy on top. But if it's undercooked, that's worse. So I'm just, hopefully our bakers are up to the challenge. And so they get started filming the segment. So it devolves a little bit into chaos. But basically what we're going to do is... So I'm going to go around. This is really cute because Brindlewood Bay, basically the rolling is specifically like, you roll dice when things get risky or dangerous, or when you're meddling or kind of investigating the mystery and the clues. So we're actually not rolling dice for the baking portion. You guys are going to describe each other's pies. So
Each other.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
You guys get to tell me if that pie is a triumph or not. So
no.
what we're going to do, I'm going to go to each of you. I'm going to ask you what sort of pie your maven is making. You can elaborate on any details or like techniques you're using. And the person on your left is going to say if your pie is a triumph or rather disappointing.
So left,
Oh.
as in,
Le-
we're gonna have to decide
We
what
have to
that looks like
establish.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, cause
Lee, you're looking
Yeah,
at the
let me look at-
overlay. So do you want to tell us like clockwise?
yeah, so we
how it
want to
do?
start from you, then, because you're at the top of the screen. That would make sense. You're above. me.
Yeah. Why don't we start? Why don't we, I'm gonna say Haley is going to go last.
Okay.
I'll
'Cause
explain why.
That's the
I'll
triumphant.
explain
pie.
later.
Okay.
Yes,
straight-
yeah.
Okay, so
Yes.
if she's going last, then the player on the left, so that would mean we want fuck. We want B to be going actually last because they will roll for Haley's, right?
Okay,
Shit.
maybe it's a bit backwards. we'll do Haley last. Who-
Okay.
I'm bad at visualizing things.
We'll just choose a
But,
person. I'll tell you who was on the left, and then.
Okay, why don't we start with B then? Because B is at the top of my screen.
Okay, cool. So
Yay.
Haley will roll for their pie, because
Yeah, and yeah, you
Okay,
don't
so-
have to roll, but yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Okay, because
Uh,
you have something up your sleeve, apparently. Yeah, it sounds like. Very interesting.
There's a special rule for Haley.
Something up your
Sorry.
piping
Oh.
sleeve.
Let me see.
Interesting.
I think so sorry, the only thing about like the pie, this is out of character, but the thing is it's a pie. You're saying like it's a classic pie, but we choose any pie, or it's just like
Yeah.
or-
So
make your own pie,
basically, the theme is pies. You can do anything. You can do a lattice work on top. You can do any filling. You can do anything at all. The world is your
Pie.
Mollusk.
pie oyster oyster pie.
okay.
Ooh, no, don't do
anyways.
that.
Don't do that. Not that, but it's yours. Yeah. So Sue, the presenter, comes over and she's like, "Hello, love. What sort of pie are we baking here today?"
Oh well, again, I'm not I always like classics, like my wife. Sure, really
My
like
wife?
rhubarb.
God damn it.
Try not to
I don't know what accent. I don't know what accent I'm going
so
for. By the
sorry.
way,
You don't
My
ever have to worry
wife.
about not making a joke. Remick will make the joke.
Wonderful.
I'll say the quiet part loud.
again, I think so adding just describe like past like things. I always feel like Yakko's been like the healthy baker of the
Oh
set.
no! It's like a fruit
Because
and nut.
yeah, well, so like then she's
Zucchini?
like, I'm like
Quinoa.
I didn't even think of a zucchini.
Zucchini
Well, I was thinking,
pie. Oh,
she's like
with a
she's
white
pulling
wine
out
sauce.
like really nice like hearty like rhubarb. Like
Oh, rhubarb.
I'm gonna do a sage rhubarb, nice like little like concoction. Not too sweet because I personally don't have sweet tooth. A good balance in life, but rhubarb strawberry used to be one of my wife's favorites. So really nice balance. The strawberries here, think and there's like she takes up, but like they're kind of good here, but I feel like they're a little lacking. So that's why I'm going through pure rhubarb with nice fresh sage. But she pulls out her own sage from like a like just a really like, just cracked and open from a nice big Tupperware container. And be like, and I think she probably like puts it up to the person. It's like just be like, come on, smell like I dried this myself. I think this will be a really nice compliment to the rhubarb
That's
we have here.
aromatic.
I know.
That's a secret ingredient.
Exactly.
I'm
Good,
well
refreshing.
impressed.
I know it's very
Wow.
great for like helping with the mental fatigue. Always gotta get that jazz up in your step.
Wow. Sue and Bob were the names of two girls I dated in college. So I think you might have I have a good feeling about this. I think you might be really in the contend in I think you might really be in the running to take this. What a good combination of flavors.
So again, also another she's very one of the eccentric contestants, and I feel like as soon as they say running, you just see like, oh yeah, I am.
Oh, I
She
didn't
starts
mean literally. But yes, yeah, well done. Yes,
bouncing up in place. She's stopped listening to like them, and she's already start like like going at like getting at the like the chopping up the butter for the things. She just stopped paying attention to the interviewer.
Imagine she's like really aggressively chopping too, like just
She's
full
she's going, she's going at it.
Unnecessary. Yes. Good. Lee, who is on B's Yakko's left?
Haley.
Okay.
/ Miriam.
Haley? Haley, would you like to
Okay.
describe if Yakko's pie is a triumph or disappointing?
It is a little bit of both. There's the flavor profile is good, but it does suffer a little bit from a slightly soggy bottom.
No.
That's fair.
There are things to like,
Yeah.
there are things to embrace, but there's some things that could use a little work for next
The
time.
sage is good.
Yes.
You can literally see like Scott Lamb kind of looks over and he's just
Like
oh dear.
I feel like she probably also like caught that eye, and she probably did that. Like she probably was trying to make sure. Well, this is her first pie crust, so she's like, "Good, right?" But yeah, obviously underbaked. Didn't do the blind baking for it and long enough. So then, and the rhubarb, she did probably a sage like too much liquid like
Like a
butter
sauce.
to it, so that's why it made extra soggy. But it's okay. She doesn't realize yet.
A brown
Yeah,
butter,
totally.
sage, and rhubarb pie sounds absolutely incredible.
It
It
does sound
sounds
really
so
good.
good.
Just fuck me
Oh.
up, fam. Oh
I
my
made this with
God.
my mind, by the way. This
Yes.
is not a pre-existing pie, but I was
Sounds
like,
good.
I needed like a herb. I was like, what's a good herb? Like sage. What's a good like non really like sweet
Super sweet,
fruit thing?
yeah.
I'm like rhubarb. I'm like, yeah. So I'm like, maybe I'll make this one day. See if this is good in reality. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Oh, I love that. We're gonna save Haley for last. So who is to the left of Haley?
That would be Mary Elise.
Ooh, Edna. Sue goes over to you and she says, "All right, how we doing? Yeah, at this stage in the process."
We're doing fine. And Edna just has like this giant cloud of flour just sort of dusting her. And just her like grayish hair is very white. at this point, and she's a couple of times had to take off her glasses and clean them off because of the flour. And like, I think I know what I'm doing. I'm actually using an old family recipe. This is a mincemeat green tomato pie using a homemade mincemeat recipe and tomatoes that I got from a friend. The crust is traditional with 50-50 lard and butter because I find those to be most effective, and hand crimped neatly around the sides, and it actually has the Greek symbol for pie carved into the top. And
that's cute.
Cute.
nice little egg wash on the crust, and it's baking, I hope.
It does seem to be baking. So that's love that. That's perfect. That's what you want to see at this stage, right?
I think so.
I wouldn't know. I've been a presenter for 10 years. I have no idea how to bake anything.
Well, you got a good job.
It's not bad, I'll tell you that much. And she sort of takes, like, there's a little bit of flour left on your counter and kind of rubs her fingers through it. Just like, you've got quite a look going there. I might actually try it. And she does like the football, like the streaks under the eyes in white flour. She's like, I might try it out for myself. You know what? What do you think? Is this my good side?
Indeed.
Oh, thank you, love. Excellent. All right. Well, best of luck. And
Flower power.
flower power. Excellent. Good. Who's to the left of Mary Elise?
That would be Haley.
Wait, again?
Right?
I thought I was to the left of B.
Of left. But the
Or you could do a round in a circle.
yeah, because it's a
pick
circle.
someone.
So like B is over here, and then it's Haley, and then Mary Elise. And so to the left would have to go back up to get to Haley. Do you see what I'm saying? Because Remick is in the middle.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
I got
So how do
you.
you, like,
Remick doesn't have
clockwise
anything.
or counterclockwise?
This is counterclockwise, but still.
Why don't we?
So
Okay.
both.
Because it's to the left. That's how counterclockwise works.
Shapes it really hard. Okay. I'm not a
That's how it goes
mathematician.
this way.
Like, what do I know? Okay, why don't I just pick? I'll pick. Get our lives together. Okay. Rowan, let's go. You are the one who gets to decide if Yako's wait, sorry.
Nope.
If Edna's pie is a triumph or a disaster.
I'm gonna be mean and I'm gonna say disaster.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
no.
Sabotage!
No, it was a good effort. I think the flavors were a little bit not to the judge's liking, perhaps. And it was a little bit overbaked.
Yeah, somehow overbaked, but also with the juice from the tomato and the mincemeat still soggy on the bottom. Just
I bet it tastes
tragic.
really good. It just doesn't stay together.
I mean, someone
Mincemeat
has to
slop.
go home crying at some point, so I take that responsibility.
Also,
Yeah.
can I say that, like, for a couple people, Miriam finished early, and so did the thing like that they do on Bake Off sometimes, where she goes and tries to like help people like put it together at the last second and like tried to help like clean stuff up a bit.
Yeah,
Sarah,
totally.
help action.
That's nothing she can do to help a soggy bottom.
Yeah, for sure.
There is no cure for a soggy bottom.
There's no coming back from a soggy bottom. Anyways, okay, we'll go to Rowan then. Describe Val's pie.
All right. Well, just side note, I feel like this is karmically going to come back to bite me, probably. But I'm sorry. Someone had to be mean.
Someone's gotta,
Yeah. Sorry. So Val's like, yeah. So I decided to do something, a little bit different. I've tested it out at home and it came up pretty good. I'm doing an apple chicken pie. So it's, you know, a bit of savory, but it's still got, you know, apple and chicken go nicely together. So, you know, it's got a little bit of the sweetness, but it's not overpowering.
Wow, that's quite an interesting combination. I'm very excited to see how this turns out, actually.
Me too.
You know, I'll put in a good word if you save me a slice.
I'll do my best.
All right, I appreciate it. And we'll go to Lee. You can tell us if Val's pie is a triumph or a disaster.
It's a triumph. It's really good. It's surprisingly, the apple is just subtle enough that it goes into the gravy very well. And it's like this wonderful salty, and then you get that nice crunch of the apple once in a while. Very good pie.
I have made this pie before. It is very good.
Sounds really good. I base this
Sounds
entirely
so
on whether or
good.
not I would eat it right now, so, which is not really that hard of a judgment. So.
Yeah.
Good.
So good. Okay, is Lee and Haley are the last ones to describe their pies?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, Lee, describe Mariana's pie, please.
Mariana has baked a pumpkin and herring pie, and it's got
Delivery service.
yes. Thank you, Rowan. It is a pumpkin herring pie, so it's got like big tender chunks of fish in it, white fish, and then it's got like a nice creamy sauce with nutmeg and salt and pepper for and pumpkin that makes up kind of like the gravy in it, and it's got peas and pearl onions, and then right as it comes out of the oven, she puts fresh dill on top of it to kind of cut the fishiness.
Yes.
Sue is like, comes over and watching, and she's like, wow, you know, when you described this, I thought the fish and the pump, I don't know, I really was on the fence, but you've turned this around. The dill, I'm so curious how this tastes.
Oh, well, thank you so much. And, you know, I've been working on this recipe for a while. It takes quite a while to bake, but it's really worth it.
Well, we'll see, but best of luck. I'm rooting for you.
Uh-oh. Who's deciding my fate?
Ooh. I think B, you haven't decided for anyone, have you? You're muted. Every time.
I have not.
Yes, okay, you can describe Mariana's disaster, triumph.
Oh, it's definitely a triumph, and I feel like, you know what? It's like an intimidating triumph, because with fish, you know how it's cooking, it's wafting, it's going around people's stations. They're like, "What is that? That's, yeah, that's it. That's people are getting hyped about it." You know what? It probably panned over to like one of the other like contestants where you're like, "It's like that's good."
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
yeah.
That's like
It's a banger, but here's like I feel like it's a banger, but it's risky because like, you know, now again, wait, one of the judges is British, right?
At least
all-
one.
everyone
They're
is
all
so
British.
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 Yeah,
It's
here's the
such a
thing.
struggle.
Extremely British.
So I'm going to say it is a banger, but the thing I worry about, which you can decide on, fish, you know, British people like there probably will be like harsher judge of that. So, but it like
Fish.
definitely
I
is
worked at a
good.
seafood restaurant. I know what I'm doing.
Okay, so did you is your flavor profile for that? Do you think it'll be suitable for them?
Don't know. It's very. I try not to make it too, you know, exotic. I guess for the British palate.
Yeah.
I don't know as anyone who's
you better just boil it, add a little salt.
right. The dill was risky. The nutmeg. Oh my god.
Yeah,
Big
still
risk.
risky. I feel like again,
But it's
banger.
not spicy. It's not spicy. So.
Spicy.
Wonderful. Then yes, I think this is a good banger pie.
Yes. I think at some point Scott walks by and he's kind of like, you know, he's like making small talk with a bunch of you. He seems really to be kind of like a wallflower. Like, you really
Aw.
haven't seen him do much baking.
Wait a minute. He's a contestant.
he'll go back and he'll like chop some ingredients and then he'll just wander a bit. But so he kind of comes over and he's like, fishing at fish. So sorry. He's fishing for a taste and he kind of like gets a little spoon of your filling and he kind of like has a little lick of it and is like, oh,
What do you think?
it's all right. I mean, it's
Oh.
it's honestly it's fine, I guess, if you're into that sort of thing. But he turns around. He turns around and he makes this face where he's like, God, this is so good. And it's like a little a little tear runs down, a single tear down the side of his face. Like,
fuck you,
that's
Scott.
like, Buck is right there with the camera, and he's like, yes, this is it.
Good.
Okay, so I saved Haley for last. Sorry, thank you for waiting.
Yeah.
I saved you for last because there is a special rule if your cozy activity is baking.
Ooh.
And so I'll tell you the special rule, but first, if you want to describe your beautiful pie for me.
Yeah. So it is a honeycomb and banoffee pie. And I found a picture. This is what the I'll see if the camera can read. That's what the top of it looks like. And it with like this honeycomb and flower pattern. And I brought the honeycomb from home.
Oh.
The fresh honeycomb. And yes, that is my pie.
Ooh. So I'll tell you right away. And like Jane and Paul are kind of hovering a bit, like as you're making your pie, and like everyone else in the room, the smells coming from your station are incredible. Like it's just a combination of the ingredients, the pastry, and I'll tell you, the special rule is that your pie automatically a triumph.
Excellent. Love it.
Auto crit. You done it. You done integration. You did it. Nailed it.
Pie. Yes, and it has like perfectly crisp bottom and like buttery and delicious. And there's like I did a sprinkling of sugar on top that adds this like kind of like crystalline effect to the honeycomb pattern, and it's just like beautiful to look at. Yes.
Yes. You have this little moment where like Jane, like the judges kind of come over and Buck is there filming and they're like chatting to you a little bit and Jane is like, that honeycomb really just quite an ambitious sort of decision, but if you can pull it off, the flavors will be absolutely scrummy. And Paul is sort of like loitering a bit off to the side. He's got this like really stoic, like really steely-eyed gaze, and he's just staring so intently at your pie, and he's like, well, I can't wait until we get to have a bite, because I think this is going to be really something spectacular.
Ooh, Senpai noticed you.
Yes.
Senpai noticed you. Oh my god.
Somebody did notice me. Oh my god.
Oh my god, yes.
Good.
Amazing. As this is happening, you can kind of see like Scott is maybe at the station directly in front of you, and he kind of like turns, like he kind of glances back a little, and he almost like there's a little like not quite a glare, but there's a look, like a weirdly intense kind of like, there's something there.
Something there.
I give him like kind of this like I give him a look back, this kind of like like just like a very confident, like not mocking in a mean way, but just in like basically kind of like
Mocking, affectionate.
and like the vibes of like sticking your tongue out at someone, just being like like not as seriously mean, but just like come at me, bro.
Yeah.
I'm just
Oh, you noticed?
I'm just
Yeah.
I'm just like this little lady who has a baking empire.
Yes, I love this. Okay, why don't we take another quick break here, another 5 to 10 minutes, and then we'll hop back in for the
Okay.
results.
For the
Sounds
judging.
good.
Yeah, judging.
Judging. Hello again.
Hello.
Hello.
We're back.
Hello,
Hello.
it's me.
Hell yes. Okay, great. Excuse me. We're a mess today. Wow. We're going to hop back in. But yeah, so you all finish your pies. Some of them spectacular, some of them bit of a hot mess, sadly. Decided at the whims of your fellow players.
I'm so sorry.
Somebody had to be.
Absolutely.
And I didn't even
savage.
get to judge anyone's.
Oh,
Aw.
I did miss you. Okay, really quick. Do you want to judge Scott Lamb's pie?
Yes.
Yeah, because we have like an uneven
Yes.
amount. That's why.
Yes. I think Scott has decided to do a pie just like, God, what is the weirdest pie that I could make Scott do?
Banana
I think
cream.
he's decided. Oh, banana. Ugh, that's too much. That's too weird. I think Scott has decided to do a custard pie, but
A pineapple
has
custard, so it doesn't set.
pineapple custard.
The
Not only
shame.
did it not set, but somehow he like scrambled the eggs. Like the egg in the custard is for sure scrambled, and the like liquid is stringy and it's kind of weirdly separated. The enzymes in the pineapple. It's a hot. I mean, sorry, Mary Elise, you were meant to tell me if it's.
We're good at this.
I don't know. I think Edna would enjoy it, but eclectic tastes and all.
That's so fair. You know, I feel like he might be one of the contestants then who like has to restart in the last like half of the show, and everyone's like, "You're restarting now. Are you sure? Are you quite sure?" But he goes for it, and you know, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's good.
Edible.
It's
I
fine.
don't help him. I don't help him.
You're too busy
Yes.
helping me, which is a lot.
Yes.
It's a lot to ask for.
Yes. Good.
He was
The
rude to
judges-
me, so
I mean, hey, he's. Listen, am I allowed to say that I've based my portrayal of him entirely off of Nathan Foad?
oh my god, amazing.
Yeah. Anywho, not to directly at Nathan Foad, but yeah. The judges, we get to the judging round. They all get to try your concoctions, your pies. They love, you know, we've got the texture is so flaky, it just melts in your mouth. Absolutely scrummy. And then, of course, we have some pies that have a soggy bottom. Very sad, tragic. I am going to say, I know this is really tough. I mean, I think everyone's pies are really good. Shit. I think that it really is down to 2 or 3. No, I think this round is really close. Paul and Jane. Paul and Jane. Not Mary Berry. Paul and Jane.
Please, not Barry. Leave.
Jane, leave, please.
Jane,
Please.
leave.
Paul and Jane spend a lot of time deliberating and really going back and forth between various pies. And in the end, they kind of settle on Val's pie, the chicken and the apple. And they go over and they award you
horse.
Star Baker. And I think they give their little spiel at the end where they're like, incredibly close this round. Miriam, the entirety of your pie, an absolute triumph. But something about the flavors in the apple and the chicken, so unique, and they just went so well together. Really just won us over. Everyone, incredible round, incredibly well done. And I thank you for serving us these incredible pies. So they award Val with Star Baker, and they announce, Paul goes up to the front and says, "Well, Sorry, actually, Paul goes towards you, Star Baker, extends the hand.
I'll just look like quietly, absolutely thrilled. Just shakes his hands.
Yeah, shakes, and he kind of turns it into like the Predator, and then does like a fist bump, and it kind of goes back and does this a little bit. I'm so sorry to everyone. The real people this is based off of. But yeah, just absolutely a delight. Well done. Can't wait to see what you come up with in the next round. And he goes to the front and he announces, well, this has been perhaps one of the best rounds that we've had of Pie Week in the history of the show. Well done, everyone. Absolutely incredible pies. I'd like to announce that the next challenge, the wild card, is going to be cakes. We'll get back to filming in just this afternoon, so we have about an hour in which you can have a rest, go and have some food, and after that, we'll be back in the pavilion to film some pie. To film some cakes. So please go have a rest. Everyone just settle in, and we'll be back shortly. Thank you. And so dismisses you. The production staff sort of like filters out. Everyone kind of just like settles in to have a bit of chill downtime. I'm just gonna like fast forward, speed us forward just a little bit, just so we can. So much baking in this one, folks. There's fully another round that we're meant to do. I'm just gonna like fast forward just ever so slightly. You all kind of settle in. You're having your snacks, whatever, like if you brought a sandwich, food, getting to like actually there's probably a craft table. There's a craft table, you know. Probably some of you have brought. Yeah,
but I imagine Miyako bringing orange slices and tiny water bottles or something.
I brought a fresh made babka that I made last night. I brought for everyone to have some.
Oh, that I think Sue is especially delighted. Sue goes over and she's like, "This is so good, love. I dated a girl. The first girl I dated was she made the most exquisite babka. This is truly perhaps even better than those, and absolutely a delight. Thank you so much for sharing."
Oh, thank you. I'm so glad you enjoyed.
Everyone in the show is gay. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yes, amazing.
This is all in the source book. It's amazing. I love it. So good. Okay, but yeah, so you guys, you're having your food, you're chatting, you're talking a little bit. Suddenly, the door to the main building, like the studio, bursts open, and Heath Hendricks rushes out, and he's kind of like, he's flustered, and like you've seen him, right, like carrying clipboards and his tablet and his phone, sheets of paper, like, but he's usually just focused in, regardless of the mess, focused in on whatever he's doing, but he looks just in disarray, like all akimbo. He's like wide eyes. He rushes over and he says, excuse me, I don't know how to say this or how to explain this, but Paul Riviera is dead.
Oh, dear.
What? We just saw him.
Yes, no, I know. I just saw him too. I literally just went to tell him to get his ass back on set.
Yako raised his hand.
I just went to tell him to get his ass back on set, and I found him dead in his dressing room.
Can Yako raise her hand and say like,
Yes,
and that's not like
freely.
that's not like one of those like new like slang, you know? Because I heard my son, he was talking about it like, oh, you know, he's so that's just like LOL, that's so dead, you know? That's not not one of those. But he's
I don't
like
think I've heard
he's
it.
like dead, right?
Nah, it's not slang that I'm aware of, but I'm not. This accent went sideways so fast. He's dead. He's a corpse. He's 6 feet under. I mean, figuratively, he's lying on his dressing room floor, but he's dead.
Do you know what happened?
Does he look injured?
No, What do I look like?
Well, if he was
I
shot
really-
or something, I'm sure that you would see it. He's just laying there.
I'm a producer, mate. I'm not a doctor. This is not what I do. Here. Listen. I'll give you a call time for the cake round. All right. I can't an autopsy. I don't know what the. I don't know what I'm doing.
Call 911. I'll take a look. And Edna just power walks with her cane.
Before you can leave, Jane Leaf stands up and she like strides over and she's such a tiny petite woman that she has this unassuming grandmotherly quality, but she strides over and suddenly these are power strides and she's like, "My dears, this is the Jolly Good Baking Show, and we are on a schedule here, and we have not missed an episode in the entirety of the history of this show's production.
Poor Paul.
So
Just leave him.
if anyone here feels that they can take a look at the body and preserve the scene, but just take a quick look, if you could not call the authorities just yet, if we truly stretched the budget so thin just to get here, and we really don't have an extra day to do cakes. I cannot stress this enough, that this could be the end of the Jolly Good Baking Show as we know it. So please...
A man is dead.
You can't.
Yes, we all love Paul Riviera. He's an icon. Yes.
How can you have the show without both judges? I'm sorry. I really think that also there's possibility that other people could die. It's
Well, it sounds
personally
like
not my
someone's
call
getting
because
promoted.
Do they
Who
have
wants
an
to be a
understudy?
judge?
Oh.
Paul Riviera understudy. Scott looks up and is like, oh, really? No.
Mariana wants to
Edna's
taste all this.
gonna face palm and literally keep walking.
Yes. Please, if you could take a look at the scene, anyone, we have to go on with the cakes in the next hour, or we lose the light. And if we lose the light, we can't record, we can't film, and that's the end of the Great British. That's the end of the Jolly Good Baking Show. Damn it!
Yeah, so Mariana's following along with Edna, but being like, if you do, consider anyone for the judge, just, let me know. I'm just gonna take a quick peek over here.
Yes.
I go too. And actually, I want to pull out my whistle and whistle
Summon Steve.
for Sesame Steve. And
Steve.
he
I'm
comes.
It's nothing
Sounding
preserves the crime scene like a dog.
Yes, he was in the green room. I brought him in as my I
Tears down
bullshit
the
that he's
door.
my emotional support dog, so I can bring him places with me. But he's not actually certified as that. I just love him.
Yeah.
You went
I just
online
love
and
him,
bought
Your
the
Honor.
certificate for it.
Yeah, exactly. No, you printed it for me on your super good printer. My forged papers.
Scott keeps coming over and he's like, "Oh, can I pet him?"
I'm like, no, he's working.
This dog is working.
That's exactly what I was
So
fishing
working.
for.
Very hard.
Yeah. Aw.
He helps me solve crime. He's Scooby-Doo. He helps me solve crime.
Amazing. All right. You guys are speed walking to Paul Riviera's dressing room. You can't miss it. There's a big star that they've taped or glued to the
A
door.
lantern hung on
Got
the
Paul
door.
Riviera. Yeah.
Sorry.
Paul Riviera's name splashed across it. You
Also,
can't miss
it's important for everyone to know that Miriam is very short and the dog is very big, and so without standing up at just standing normally on four legs, he can put his head on her shoulder.
Aw.
Good dog.
I
Just
love
giant,
him.
giant doggo. Anyways,
We have a
Giant.
halfling.
Giant
I just thought that
dog.
visual was important for everyone to know.
It adds a sense of scale.
Yes.
Yes. Alrighty. You guys make your way into. Into the dressing room. You'll also note this is the biggest room in this little production studio. Noteworthy. What you find in this macabre scene, the lights are on. It looks like Heath Hendricks might have just turned them on and then left in a panic. The door is open where he left it. You find lying on the floor in disarray the body of Paul Riviera, his face covered with flour and his hands tied behind his back with beautifully plaited nylon cords.
Hot. Okay, sure.
That's literally it's all in the book.
Not here to kink shame.
Yeah.
We're not here to kink shame, folks.
I mean, a little bit if he's dead. You forgot the first one. Safe, sane,
Yeah.
consensual. Okay.
Yes.
I mean, if any way to go out, that's the way.
Do we see any disturbance in the flower of like
Footprint.
footprints, fingerprints?
So that sounds like you might be investigating.
Roll me
Yes.
investigation. Yeah.
Maybe. Mayhap.
Is that
Look at the
Perchance.
flower.
I believe that's meddling.
meddling?
No. Yes?
Yeah.
Yes.
Search for a clue.
Yes.
Conduct research.
We've
or
never
gather.
played this before.
Right.
He's meddling.
But yeah, if you want to investigate the scene, you can trigger the meddling move. Just tell me how you want to go about investigating, and we can decide what ability to roll.
Okay. I feel like Yako was the first person there because if we were all speed walking, she was at the
Yeah.
first one in.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
sees
Just
this
a dead sprint.
It's like one of those robots.
form excellent. So she opens the door, scans around, sees it, sees the flower. It kind of looks like, I feel like watching enough crime shows be like, oh, you dust for prints, and you're like, flower, that's already done. Awesome. So she crouches down and she kind of looks around. Well, probably looks at first at the flower around his mouth to be like, is he breathing? Because you probably kind of see that being disturbed pretty easily.
Just flower pops.
Yeah, and I assume we don't see that. So after that, then she will look around.
It sounds like you're kind of trying to logic this out, right? You're looking and you're studying the scene and you're trying to just make sense of these little details. Does that sound right?
Yes. Why the flower?
Yeah. So if you want to roll reason for me.
Okay. That would just be. What am I?
2d6,
right?
2d6.
2d6. Okay.
And then you add your reason.
Yeah, I'm just a 0 for that because my 1 is in vitality.
You're a jock.
I did roll a 7 in total. It's 1 and 6.
Wait, doesn't everyone start with 1 in reason?
Yeah, you get 1 in reason automatically.
Yeah, everyone automatically has 1 reason.
Yeah.
That's what the sort of
Yeah.
Okay.
sort of hidden. Everyone starts with a -1 sensitivity and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, I see it now. I was looking at the character sheet and I was like, oh, it was an example. Okay. So then I only do an 8 because it's a 1 + 6 + 1.
Okay.
Yeah. Hell yeah. So that is a success. A 7 and up is a success, but it's kind of a mixed success where you get what you're after, but you either leave yourself vulnerable or open yourself up to danger in some way. So I'm going to kind of lay it on the table for you, and you can decide if you want to go through with it and accept whatever, the bad part is, or if you want to just not take the action. So I can give you a clue for your success, and the condition I think is going to be I don't know. This is an interesting one. I might say that the condition is you kind of like you're getting down in the nitty gritty and you're like looking at the body and you're looking at there's all this like flour on the floor and you kind of like your foot hits it at just the wrong angle and you slip and kind of just like your ankle kind of twists in a bad and you're like ooh that's not
Oh.
that's not how that's meant to bend. So
Okay.
the condition that I'm going to give you is sprained ankle. So we're going to give you disadvantage on your what's the
Vitality?
athletic one?
Vitality.
Yeah, vitality.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll give you the
My
condition will give you
vitality.
disadvantage on vitality. Yes.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay. I think I'll take that because you know what's funny is I tweaked my ankle earlier today because I slipped on ice. So
I think that's where I got the idea actually.
Yeah,
It's in the back of my brain.
you're like, oh, B hurt the ankle. Okay, this is what's gonna happen.
Which
Um,
is her
Art
in the
imitates
condition.
life, art becomes life.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I think I take that option because it makes sense also because let's just lead into the rock lead. She also has ankle weights. So
Yes.
so when like slipping on flour and also with ankle weight probably like so
I cannot believe you're targeting me with this rock leash.
she'll look when it goes down Yako will drop the weights and be
Yes.
super fast old lady. It's okay. But yeah,
Yes.
so that is what I will accept that condition. So you said
Hell yes.
disadvantage on vitality or
Yes, disadvantage
Okay.
on vitality. And you can if you use your cozy move. What's the thing on
An
the
item
sheet?
from your cozy place?
Oh no, I know what you're talking
Yeah.
about. The shoot.
Or is it the crown?
Yeah, it is.
No,
It's
Cozy
just
it's
a
move.
the
cozy
cozy
move.
move. It is just called the cozy move.
Yeah. Yeah, by using your cozy move, you can also remove conditions that you've accrued.
You have to
So there
connect
is the
to that
possibility to
place,
get rid of that as well and shed
Yes,
the weights, as it were.
yeah, honestly, it's probably shedding the weights too, and like putting like a salve or something like herbalist like salve, like a nice like muscle bee venom type arthritic healing.
Yes.
Tiger
Anyways,
bomb.
well,
Some nice
Yeah.
tiger
well,
bomb.
tiger bomb, homemade tiger bomb. But
Ooh.
yeah, so
Yes.
we'll get to that after because she probably so she slips. She's like okay, and it's like no pain, no gain. Gotta look at football. And
Yako, are you
is suffering
okay?
through this.
Oh my
And is like,
gosh.
look, honey, it's okay. We got someone more who can't feel pain. So we'll figure this out first. And like, nope, it's not the worst injury I've had.
Well, if you're sure about it.
You can tell that she's like, yeah, but like, I think she's also relying back on like she probably has broken a couple bones just being like like the name of the game sports and all that as well, but like over the years like body's like catching up, so it's like oh, I'm not young anymore type deal. But she's currently pushing through it, which is probably what gives her the disadvantage as well because she's like trying to fight through it. So what
Do you
else
mind
do
if I at least wrap it, please?
in a second well once I'm sitting over there after we get
Well-
done this body looking at
Yako,
Yes.
Mariana wants to start looking around as well. And she's kind of looking in the same places that Yako is looking as well. And she kind of like holds out her and she's, Yako, where did you slip? Could you make sure I don't slip as well?
Oh, well, the flower all over here. But okay, this long streak of flower, that one was me. So like
Okay.
this is nothing. But yeah.
Okay.
It's your interference in the crime scene.
Yes. Yes.
I will say though that you slipped and fell from this vantage point. You can actually see under the couch, and you see it looks like it just got kind of kicked or just like shoved hastily under there. But you see a baking sheet sprinkled with something. It doesn't look like flour.
Okay,
Anthrax?
so
It's cornstarch.
Cornstarch.
The
Cocaine.
I want a
anthrax?
crispy crust.
I think so is there a pair of
And-
you know, I was gonna say, like, do we have a pair of tongs on us? I feel like
You
what
see, I
what
have a
if they
sword
crack?
cane. Like, I am happy to
Two
use
of us
that.
have canes. Yes.
Oh, yes.
Use them as tweezers and like.
Yeah.
Like,
Chopsticks
hey,
this thing out of here.
So while on the floor, like probably it's like, oh, like, but like, oh, hey, like, Edna, Miriam, there's you see that over there? Well, it looks like someone maybe didn't like clean up nicely, or and then like trails off and is kind of gesturing to be like, that doesn't look good underneath the couch.
I'll go and try and use the cane underneath to at least scoot it out so where we can see it without touching it.
Hell yeah. Yeah, you managed to do that A-okay. You acquire this baking sheet. I'm trying to think, because Yako kind of has a bit of an expertise in like herbs and like that sort of thing. I think that you take a close look at this and you kind of like get like you're not kind of like inhaling it, but you're like kind of just getting the scent of it a little bit. Yeah. I mean,
Lay it.
you definitely
How is
there's
it?
definitely a sort of like chemical
Mhm.
acridity to the smell. And it actually looks for you and maybe who else said that they had a garden? Was it Lee? Did
Yeah, I
You
have
had a
like
garden?
herbs and stuff for my cooking.
yeah, it does look quite a lot like rat deterrent or like rat poison.
Okay.
Oh,
So maybe
what a
don't lick
way.
it.
That sucks.
Freaking rat.
Don't lick it, but do snort.
Mhm.
Do inhale it.
Mhm. Okay.
Oh dear.
Well,
Was he
either they
licking
have
the
rats
pan?
here,
What
or there's a rat in here.
happened?
Just like a
Ooh.
shitty.
That was really good.
Snaps.
Oh,
So
very
good.
good.
I'm
I feel-
going to. No, sorry, you go.
No, you go ahead.
Okay. I'm gonna tell Sesame Steve to see if he can follow the trail of that scent to see if he can the scent of that rat poison. I'm gonna tell him not to get too close to it, but just kind of get a waft of it, and to see
Just
if
a
he
little
can
sniff.
trail it to somewhere or something or someone.
Oh, okay. So that sounds like because by utilizing an item from your cozy place, you can gain advantage on a roll if it seems like
Okay.
a reasonable feature.
Yeah.
So I can give you advantage on for using Steve in that. Can you remind me if you use your dog, do you leave it unmarked? Like you can just kind of use it continually, or
It
do you
doesn't
mark it?
say. It doesn't say either way.
Is it like once
Not
per?
like a
I
once
think
per
you're right. Actually, it
adventure.
doesn't really say. Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine.
I mean, it's a dog. I don't think it. You know.
Well,
It
I mean,
runs
so
out of
like,
uses.
yeah, I imagine it's kind of like because like my van you don't
Yeah.
mark. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
probably
It's not
I
like
think that
he
must
can,
be right.
he
Yeah.
can only smell one thing per day.
I mean, it's against labor laws. Like you just can't. He can't do it again.
This
you
dog
know,
is
and-
union.
Yes.
Mandatory
God.
breaks.
Yes,
His
hell
guard for that
yes.
too.
Good for it. Good for that dog.
Yes. But yeah, absolutely. We can give you advantage, so you'll roll 3d6 and take the two highest. This will be another meddling roll to like uncover more clues and kind of progress. Before you say what you rolled, what do we think? That sounds like maybe that's a tough one, sniffing it out.
Literally.
I mean,
Yeah.
Reason?
I was going to say reason. Does that feel weird or does that feel right?
That makes sense, I guess.
I think
Yeah.
so. Or composure is also intense concentration. Maybe it's more composure.
Okay.
Either one.
I have the same in both, so it doesn't really matter.
Okay, perfect. Sounds
well, I
good.
did roll a 6, a 6, and a 5, so
Holy
So-
biscuits. Damn.
Yeah.
my dog
Yeah.
is really
it.
good at smelling shit. Like
He's real freaking good at that.
MVP.
Yeah, he might not actually be like an emotional support dog, but he might have been in training and you kind of like adopted him out. Like
He was gonna
Yeah,
be
yeah.
a police dog, yeah.
gonna be a
he's too strong.
He was gonna be a police dog, but he's so intelligent, and he was like, "Fuck the police," and he ran away. Yeah, he's an ACAB dog. He left
Yes,
the police.
I love this.
Kept
Yes.
fighting the cops.
How does this happen in all of our games?
In every single
We
game.
gotta find.
So true.
Yes, he is
So
my
true,
ACAB
bestie.
dog, and I saved him from the force, and now he's my best friend.
Oh my gosh, that's so good.
He discovered a corruption scandal in the police department that he like
They
rolled
fired
in.
him.
He-
Can't keep
and then
you.
they fired him. Yeah, because he like snuffed out the scandal.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
So
that's
very
a-
good. Very good.
So so then it's a +1, so it's a 13.
A 13. Yeah, that's
It's very good.
that's fully wild. Yeah. That's very good. That is the official term in Powered by the Apocalypse is a very good roll.
It's very good.
You succeed. What else can I give you?
Yeah, I'm fucking better.
I mean-
Yeah.
Literally one of these is really funny. I'm gonna give you this one for free because literally the first one I gave you made sense, baking sheet sprinkled with rat poison. There is another one further down where it's like Paul's body has signs of him being poisoned. Yeah.
What?
I'm
I'm sorry.
sure
I'm
it
sorry. What? Let me go back in my notes.
Yeah. Oh my god, what? Very, very funny. Okay. You're following the trail of like your dog Steve trying to sniff out and kind of figure out what's going on here. I think that Steve kind of picks up this trail. He kind of starts leading the group of you to what looks like a sort of admin office for like production staff and people who are more, like doing the administrative, the menial tasks behind the scenes. He leads you in there and you actually find just kind of, there's a little desk, like again, you were in Paul's lavish, like his dressing room, this lavish suite, and now you're in this teeny tiny little office. There's like a desk and a chair crammed in here. You can't open the door all the way because the desk gets in the way. And you find right on top of the desk by this old rickety computer, a pile of what look like receipts, and there's an expenses port below them, and a lot of this is like pretty outlandish stuff. There's like, you see there's a couple of receipts on top for the most expensive restaurant in Brindlewood Bay. There's like all kinds of ride share apps, or like, sorry, not ride share apps, but there's like a receipt for a limo and like really ostentatious unnecessary purchases. So you find this stack of receipts kind of sticking out of the corner of like another pile of paperwork.
Whose office is this? Did you say?
It's just an administrative office, so whatever PAs and admin staff.
And they did say that the budget was very tight.
Mm-hmm.
And now she's
Jane
been.
Leaf did say. Oh.
Jane Leaf did say that, and now if perhaps Paul has been spending outside of his budgetary restraint.
Why not just fire him? That's
Yeah. It's not a
Everyone
murder
loves
report.
Paul
No,
Rivera.
he's the one who did
She
the
did.
spending.
She also did insist that the show must go on despite his death, which is inherently suspicious.
Ooh.
And also not
Odd
calling the
attitude to
police.
take. Yes.
That's a good point, though. We don't know for sure that it was him. Perhaps, he found out or something. It could have been someone else. Just keeping our options open here, not jumping to any hasty assumptions.
True. Though the lavishness of his dressing room does make me wonder.
Is there any samples of handwriting either in his room or in the PA's room?
I was just about to ask that.
Ooh, why don't you roll another meddling check for me? That feels like reason. Yeah, I think that's reason.
I wanted to look around the room a little bit and look for handwriting and or any call sheets that are ripped up.
Ooh.
So, yeah.
Yeah, she's just kind of like glancing around while everyone's looking at the paperwork and keeping an eye out.
Yeah. If you want to roll reason as well for me, I'll also say really quick, Haley, just because you rolled the 12, so this is kind of, I'll say this. When you first walk into the room, like you see that pile of receipts immediately. You also notice the computer's turned off. But for half a second, there's a weird moment where, like, out of the corner of your eye, it almost you get a weird feeling like you're being watched, and you kind of like glance over to the computer screen, and it feels like there's eyes, like it looks like there's eyes staring back at you from the dark, completely black, turned off computer screen. And then like the sensation and then the feeling kind of vanishes, and like it's fully turned off. Like the monitor's off there's no way, right? Like it's not possible. Technology doesn't work like that. That's not.
Can I investigate? Is that an occult move to like investigate that, or is that not enough?
I will say, just in the interest of not like going down a rabbit hole, just because the Brindlewood Bay, we're kind of doing it as a one shot here, but like if we ever wanted to pick it back up, there is kind of a broader eldritch kind of like. There's a broader mystery going on.
She's trying to misdirect you. Look into it.
Yeah. Let's do it. Yeah. No. But so this is kind of like usually if it's on like a roll that's 12 or above, you might give like a void clue, which is a little spooky. It's a little spooky. But yeah, cool. Maybe someday we'll come back. We'll do a sequel, maybe.
Very cool.
But yeah, Mary Lee's, what was your reason roll?
7. So what's the possible horribleness that I can get?
What you said you were looking for handwriting samples. Okay. I'm going to say, and like it's a hit, so if you want to go through with it, I'll give you a clue. The condition that I'll give you is call it like migraine, right? Like eye strain. So you're kind of like you're squinting, you're looking like really looking in detail through all this paperwork. So the condition will be a migraine, and we'll give you disadvantage on reason rolls.
Migraines suck. I don't know.
They really do.
Suck.
I don't know if I'd put up with it.
The question
Gotta wait for the meds to kick in.
Yeah, in my sewing bag, do I also have a tiny med kit?
No, but we do have a friend here that's really good at healing stuff, don't we?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I just bring out sage. Like, this is like, sniff this, you'll be fine. Or no, like oil of oregano. Like handmade oil of oregano.
Yeah.
Some like peppermint on the temples.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Was it eucalyptus? Is a good one for a lot of people? Yeah.
Okay,
so lavender and vervain, actually.
Pretty
so, you know, like how I have the old timey doctor's bag. I have that on me, so it's I probably do have like the tincture. So, you know, like it's hand labeled. So like, you know, vaguely all of the like the tinctures and the herbs stuff that like Yako deals with kind of seem like kind of sketchy, but they're usually like, but he insists they're like, no, it's fine. Like,
you'll feel better. That's all I'm gonna say.
Better. Someone once tried
I wrote
to ask
you an official certificate for that too.
I
Yes.
love this.
For your,
Someone once tried to ask
naturopathic
her,
meal
yeah.
practice.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
They're like, is this FDA approved? They're like, she's like,
No.
what's FDA?
What? FDR? No.
No, FDA is fucked up.
FSR? I love FSR roads.
Yes. But yeah,
Uh,
we could absolutely call that using your cozy move, which would get rid of a condition. If you choose to go through with the condition.
I would like to go through with it because I think this will be important if we can find some sort of match, and also any particular information that might be on handwritten documents.
Yes.
Ooh. Ooh.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Let me just see. I have a good one here. Let me just find it. There's a very good list of of various clues.
I just need to turn a light on. Just gonna do this. 2 seconds.
I have a light on. My
Yeah,
apartment's just very dark.
It just got increasingly bright and then very suddenly dark in my room, but I already turned the light on.
it is also getting darker here, but I like it.
Spooky. It matches the
Rom
theme.
lives in darkness. There we go.
This is true.
We're all
I
descending
do.
into the darkness.
Illumination.
Illumination.
Ooh. Hell yes. Yeah, so Mary Elise, you don't manage to find like handwriting samples. It like largely everything's digital. Even like the receipts, a lot of it is just like paid with tap. There's not really a lot of handwriting. But I will say you're rifling through this paperwork and you do manage to stumble on what looks like a very sternly worded letter from the head of the BBC.
Ooh.
A cease and desist, like
To us right now.
Damn it. That's it, guys. We gotta call it in.
Yikes.
The standards and practices, the S&P.
We'll just tag him when this episode comes out.
Yes,
So they
yeah.
can find it right
God damn it.
The things we do to avoid monetization.
I mean, demonetization.
Deep, yeah. Monetization's what you want.
Yeah, the thing is that's if we say those things, then we're automatically
Yeah.
Avoiding, yep.
Pull the
Blink.
plug. Yeah.
The YouTube bots will know us.
Yeah.
So what's in the
Hell
letter?
yeah.
What's in the letter?
What's in the letter?
What's in the letter? It seems to be concerning exorbitant expenditures.
From who?
Yeah, and who is it
It's-
written to specifically?
It's just addressed to the Jolly Good Baking Show. And like part of the nature of these clues is like the burden of solving the mystery is on the players. So
Yeah.
like
I
all of
just
these
wanna know who to
clues can
accuse. Yeah.
Oh yeah, totally. But like none of the clues have a name or like have like a person attached to them.
Oh,
It's all just kind of like yeah, you decide. You decide who I'm incriminating. And Lee, you also had
did.
wanted to do the reason roll, right?
Yes, and I got a 10 on that.
Ooh, a 10 is
To
good.
find anything that lines up with the note that I got.
Ooh. A 10 is a hit, so there's no consequence, there's no vulnerability. I am going to say that you do find what looks like a call sheet. It just has, the times when everyone is meant to be on set, when they go to makeup, when they go to wardrobe, the times when all of you, the contestants, are arriving, and it does look like someone has torn off the bottom corner of it. There also seems to be a Sharpie on the desk. That's sort of like another piece of a clue that you already have.
Yeah.
So what I'll also give you is
And this is the tiny desk that's in the hallway.
the
Well,
admin
it's-
office. Yeah.
It's an admin office.
This-
It's like a closet. It's not
Yeah,
in
it's
the
like
hallway.
it's like a PA. It's an assistant's office. Okay, I'll say, and I think this is the last clue you guys can find in this particular room, but the last thing you find is it looks like a contract, or rather it looks like not so much a contract but like a printed out email exchange that's a somewhat heated back and forth concerning a PDF contract, and it seems to be regarding just like unreasonable contractual demands.
For what?
It looks like it's one of the people involved, like who is on, right, in whatever capacity on the baking show. Um uh, Wait, have I got it backwards?
Uh-oh.
No, sorry. It's the production staff responding to someone who is asking for unreasonable things to be put in their contract.
Oh, okay. Sure. So, I mean, this guy kind of seems like a jerk, and there might have been a couple people who wanted to get rid of him. So,
Cool motive, still murder.
well, I'm not here to judge or anything. I just, I did hear that girl outside too. I just, I don't want to accuse anybody, but I heard her talking about Paul, perhaps his company shutting down her family business.
Mm.
I don't know.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
other contestant.
Melanie's parents'
Yes,
bakery
Melanie.
was.
Yeah.
That's it. Thank you. Yeah.
She
Yeah.
seems like a little
I mean-
sweetheart, though, don't you think?
No.
I haven't
I
spoken
mean-
to her at all. So
I mean, I think Melanie is fine, but I mean, was her parents' bake shop really all that good, anyways? I don't know how long it would have survived, regardless.
well,
Savage.
Miriam, I think you might be letting some personal feelings get in the way here. But that's all right. I
Me?
understand.
Personal feelings about her parents' bakery? No. Third. I'm not saying. If anything, what I'm saying is in her defense that I don't, well,
that she
neither.
didn't
No,
murder
you know.
anyone. Okay.
neither in her defense nor against her.
Completely neutral party, of course.
Yeah.
So what I'm
I
getting
don't-
from this is that multiple people have perhaps
Everyone
motive.
hates Paul.
Yeah. So
Yes.
Fuck that guy.
perhaps what we should be focusing on is who had the opportunity, who had access to his dressing room.
Yes. Well, this is
Anyone
very
who worked
strange.
from the production could have done so quite easily.
Well,
I'll say as well, like, you guys, from being on this show, you know that, like, security to get onto the filming location is pretty tight, but people are coming and going constantly within, like, the little production studio and the pavilion, like the tent. So people from outside can't get in, but anyone here probably had availability.
Well,
Opportunity?
the scent of the rat poison led Steve to this office, which makes me think was probably someone in the production who would have maybe stored the poison here. Because why would someone who did not work on the production bring poison into this office, leave it in the office, and then go, I think
see
it's
what you're
someone who
saying.
works for the production.
it could be.
It would make the most sense, especially due
Yes.
to the financial aspects, that if
Yes.
they want to keep the show going, they have to cut down on expenses, and the most expensive thing apparently was Paul.
Mm.
Well, I think maybe we should look more into this pan. It's a very strange way of poisoning somebody. It's sprinkling
Rat
it
poison on a baking pan, yeah.
So was it put on a dish that he was sampling? Was it perhaps put on all of our dishes as he's a judge? Can we find
Perhaps
the remains? Did he just eat them all up? We should
Perhaps-
look around.
Jane might be the suspect. She's a baker after all. Maybe she made something, one of their example dishes that they always do and sample during the commercial break.
Could be, yes.
Maybe she put it in the example and he ate it. Perhaps.
The flour that Yako slipped in, are we sure that's flour or could that have been poison as well?
Cocaine.
It's just littering the
There's,
floor.
there's exorbitant expenses,
Yeah,
Cocaine ain't
that would
cheap.
be going full Scarface here. But
You
Mm.
Do
say
I
that
know
from
if it's
experience,
cocaine or
Rowan?
not?
Yeah.
Can
You know,
Steve
Val's
sniff?
done some things.
Can Steve sniff
Just have it,
Yako's
used to try
shoe?
anything once.
Steve sniffs Yako's shoe to
Does he
determine.
know if it's coke? Sorry.
No, to determine if it's the poison or not.
Oh.
since you had already been trailing it, yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Do you want to give me another composure roll? With advantage, because it's Steve.
'Cause it's Steve.
Steve.
Yeah.
Steve.
And we'll do this and then we'll
That's-
take another quick break.
That's composure, so that's 11.
Nice.
Yeah,
pretty good.
that's a hit, no complication. Yeah, I'll give you that it does look like that has the same acrid chemical scent to it, the flower on Yako's shoe. So that
Okay.
does seem to be,
Be poison. So that's what was in his mouth, probably.
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
I'll also give you, just because that's not on my list of clues. I'll give you one more.
As a treat.
Ooh, shoot. Okay. I'll say I said that was the last clue you're getting in this room. So I'll say as you guys are heading back out, you have a look at Yako's shoe. You actually find, looking at her shoe on the ground, a tiny glittering little, like, something catches your eye. You reach down, pick it up. It is I literally just lost it. I can't read. My name is Jared. I can't read. Okay. You find a
What
tiny pair.
Sorry.
No, it's all good. You find a tiny pair of earrings. They look extremely valuable. Like those are some kind of crystal. Like that's not nothing. But they're these beautiful diamonds.
it's not stage jewelry.
Yeah, it's not stage jewelry. They're these tiny diamond earrings shaped like little loaves of bread.
Aw.
What?
Diamond loaves of bread.
Yeah, there you go, right? I mean,
No,
hey,
It is like a 12
Classy and
days of
tasteful.
Christmas thing. Like it's
You're on
diamond loaves of
Bake-Off. You gotta
bread.
go big, folks.
This points me towards Jane as well, I think.
That she would discard her earrings after. What?
Well, they must have fallen off by mistake.
It's both
But
of them
the pair?
Signs of a struggle? Or
right
yeah,
next
actually,
to each other. Like, how are they situated?
That's a good question. It does
Like-
say a pair.
They're just like neatly placed next to each other.
Maybe, okay, well,
like hold my earrings, just like I have to beat this man up.
I'm gonna kill this guy.
Hold my earrings,
Hold
babes.
my bread.
Yeah, hold my bread. Well, let's say it's just one. Okay, we'll say it's just one.
Okay.
That's better, right?
Cool.
Yeah.
Is it bloody?
That tells me what I need to know about.
It's not bloody.
Well, no, because he wasn't bleeding. It was.
But if it was torn out in a struggle,
Yeah.
Oh.
Then the earring.
Her.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And we assume it's a
Maybe.
woman wearing the earrings, but.
True. Yeah.
Yeah. Go around.
Scott, we need to check your ears.
Everyone, show me your ears. Who's got their ears?
He'd never
pierced?
wear something so tacky. Come on.
I
Brett.
would like to make a suggestion. all, this is out of character, but like we should all assemble and like Yako should be like, okay, I know everyone is like feeling a little bit like a down, but we should all do jumping jacks. But then she prompts everyone to tie up their hair, like passing out hair ties.
Oh, to see who's got
Yes!
pierced ears.
Yeah.
Mm.
As a motivation thing. So if we want
Oh.
to split up the crew, Yako could go and tell that.
That's so funny, actually. Okay, I don't want to stop you guys. You're on a roll, but I do want to take a quick break. Last break.
Yes.
Go. Let's break. Back in 10
On a
minutes.
roll.
Yeah.
Good.
On a
Yay.
roll!
Uh,
Hello.
We're back, and the group chat is so unhinged right now.
bring an interesting energy to this meeting today.
Putting everyone on blast immediately.
Targeted content.
So fucking targeted. Anyways, I fully just realized that I forgot to switch to the like spooky suspense playlist after the last break because there was so much good role play and so much good stuff happening, and I got really into it. I was like, fuck, I forgot to cue the music. Damn it. But we're back.
But we're here now.
All right. I yeah, some heavy breathing. Sorry. I am going to put the group chat away.
It's for the best.
We're
I
professional.
was scanning just to double check my count of how many clues we have. I think you have 7 or 8 clues. I think I'm gonna go with 8 because I got a bit mixed up with all the things that I was saying were about poison, and I lost track of it. So I think we're gonna go with 8. You have 8 clues.
Which is
8
well
clues.
above the number
That's
we
a
need.
lot.
Yeah, you've certainly surpassed 4. So
True, but the roll is still hard.
the roll's pretty hard. So yeah.
But it goes
But,
down.
So we
isn't
got
it,
plus
after-
4 right now.
+4.
Yeah.
So
D-
pretty good.
Yeah.
Sorry, does it start going down when you're above the like minimum number or above the like difficulty total?
The minimum.
Yeah.
Okay.
So after 4.
Mhm.
Okay.
So not bad. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, you guys will hop back in when you guys are kind of still in that hallway right outside the admin office. So where would you like to go from here?
Oh, I think we wanted to check out that baking sheet, right?
Mhm.
And see, like, maybe what was prepared on there or something like that.
Yeah,
Is this, like,
how
from the kitchens?
he ingested it.
Yeah,
might
did
be
he, like, lick
helpful.
the pan?
Did he snort it? Did someone just smack him with the pan and he inhaled? Or...
Like flour juice, you just like eating fistfuls of flour. Like, what's it?
I love flour.
Spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down, I guess.
It's the new paleo diet. You gotta just eat the
It's
raw
like
ingredients.
anti-paleo.
The opposite of the gluten-free. It's just all gluten.
All
100%
gluten.
Time.
You just
All
buy,
gluten.
like wheat germ, just the pure
Yeah.
gluten.
Oh, they're Italian.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's for baking and pastas, but
Looking for an Italian, you know? The Italian job.
Also,
okay.
do we remember whose books had been autographed when the note was dropped?
Oh, it was a cookbook, shared authorship between Jane Leaf and Paul Riviera. So it had both of their signatures on it.
we haven't even
Okay.
suspected Jane Leaf yet. Have we? Wait, have we?
I thought she
I
was our
thought
number
that's
one.
like the number one
Shit.
suspect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, is that
I
the
think
one
when
at
she
the
was like,
bakery? No, it wasn't.
"Hey, don't call the cops," and everyone was like,
Yeah.
"Rrr."
They don't call the cops. We just have to pretend this didn't happen. Like,
Melanie?
But we have
Melanie
to
is
get
my
it done
prime
today
suspect,
because of
but
we have to get it done because of the funding. Like she's the one who's most concerned about the lack of funds, as far as
she
we
was
know.
pretty cold, but I don't know if I think she was surprised. I don't know.
Well, the other argument is if she really was worried about delaying the shoot because of how troublesome it is, she would murder would obviously delay the shoot.
That's
So
true.
if somebody was wanting to do that, they wouldn't do it on the show. They would do it before, or they would do it after because then not mid shoot,
Mhm.
The show
because that would
must
only
go on.
No,
delay
it-
things, right?
Depends on how he was supposed to consume it, though, because if it was like a baked good in his trailer, maybe he was supposed to eat it beforehand or after, and just for some reason decided to have it during the break. But also, Heath Hendricks, the producer who found the body,
I was
is
gonna
also pretty sus because, like, the first person who finds the body is usually a pretty good suspect.
And also just like how many people on this shoot are like high up enough that they would be that concerned about the budget. Like your average production aide probably doesn't really care,
Well,
but someone like the head producer or yeah.
Yeah, I think, yeah, he was the only higher up because Buck, the camera himbo, wouldn't really care.
Buck would
Um,
never.
it's
Buck would
Buck.
never.
And then the person who was carrying the autographed books and stuff was the underpaid, overworked, and would be there for the opportunity, but wouldn't have enough ownership to kill for the show. No one touches the camera himbo.
No. I will go to bat for
stand.
Buck.
The camera himbo.
He's an attractive young man.
Nice looking young gentleman.
Boys will be boys.
You know?
Indeed.
We've
Boys
all
only want one
adopted
thing,
him,
and that's a
basically.
camera himbo.
I'm not quite sure if adopted is the right term in Val's situation, but
sorry.
sure.
I mean, that was a whole cultural thing, you know, at a certain point in history.
Oh.
Yeah, okay.
For sure,
Yeah,
for
you
sure.
know. Good.
This might be a bit of a stretch, but I want to try and look at Valentine's hand, because he was the last person
Oh,
to touch
shit.
him.
Oh.
So,
right. Oh.
so Mariana
Val?
is kind of looking around. She's very puzzled and just sort of thinking. She's like, you know, this might be very strange, and I don't mean to put anything on you, Valentine, but if you think about it, you might have been the last person to come into contact with Paul over here.
This is true. However, we were all together during the break.
No. And of course, I'm not accusing you of anything here. I just want to investigate a little bit further.
I suppose I could respect that. I'm not sure.
I want to
Not sure
try
what you expect to
and to
find.
make an occult move with this.
Oh, okay.
With my
yeah.
sensitivity.
Uh-huh.
And do like a palm reading and trying to like look into Paul's immediate future after having come in contact with somebody. And then maybe if I touch him,
Hmm.
I can get that same energy. I don't know.
Conduit type thing.
Sure,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I promise I was not
yeah.
accusing Valentine of anything.
Well, that is what it seemed like.
No, Mariana's just kind of a weird person who doesn't know how to put things once in a while. I was like, you know.
Valentine is just a means to an end.
Aw, I would
My
never call him that.
That is the extent of my revenge, don't worry.
That's fair. I had that
Oh
coming.
my god.
Okay.
What you've done is terrifying because I'll tell you the occult move. If you hit,
Mhm.
that establishes it
Yep.
in our canon. Yeah,
I know.
as a move that all the mavens can use.
You can read palms to see about
Yeah.
30 minutes into the future if I succeed.
Wow, great. Yeah, totally. Okay.
But a person that they were in contact with, so like not
yeah,
specifically
yeah.
Val's
Direct
future.
contact.
Mhm.
And so
It's like a touch telepathy, touch
Yes.
divination situation.
Sort of
okay.
yeah.
Like feeling echoes of the person
Oh.
and then following that echo to its future.
Ooh, I love
Is there an
that.
anime about this? I
Wait
really
a
feel
minute.
like I've heard this before.
There's probably
Sorry,
about
okay.
30.
yeah.
Something
Yeah,
very
absolutely.
Something red strain. Yeah, okay.
I was just like future trails, like from Homestuck.
I was thinking more Donnie
Stop
Darko,
it.
but yeah.
Jail.
Like the Donnie
Everyone go to
Darko
jail.
Time streams.
I will place myself in Homestuck jail.
Yes.
I'll bring you a
Good.
bucket.
Good. Damn it. Damn it. All of you.
Damn all of you.
Let's do Lee. Let's do the occult move.
Yes.
You're gonna do it.
Canonically, if we can read the future.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
Lee's gonna canonically establish if you can. Do it. Roll sensitivity. Let's go.
Oh my god. Okay. That is a 9. That's pretty good for a plus nothing.
Okay. Yeah. Is it, or I mean, it's a 9 anyways, but do you have -1 to sensitivity? Or?
No, because I put
Oh,
my
okay.
point into it. Yeah.
Okay, great. You planned this.
I planned for this.
Okay, great.
The thing seen from the lighthouse can never be unseen.
The reflections in the
God.
ocean and the lights.
Yeah.
Go on.
Supernatural. Okay, so
She has
I
a bit
guess
of a
I give
connection.
you a clue.
Yes, you do.
I guess so. Okay, so what I'm going to say, right, it's a success, it's a mixed success, so it's going to be a condition or vulnerability. You can choose to go through with it. So what I'm going to say, oh my god, what do you do for like a palm reading situation?
You reach into the
Have you ever
void and the
seen a
void reaches
show,
back.
Like, it's called Star Trek. It has some, like, you touch each other's hands.
My mind to your mind.
Listen, we are at, my palm, we are at Vulcan First Base.
Yes.
God damn
Get
it.
a fucking room, guys. Jesus.
How dare you target me like that?
Get a room.
Hey, do you know how to get advantage?
Oh boy.
We out here.
Oh my gosh.
Here we are. Just holding
I
Valentine's
literally have a
hand.
tattoo of the Enterprise. I don't know what you expected of me.
I'm looking over Valentine's hand and just kind of like poking at the different lines and the bumps on his palm and trying to find anything.
Yeah. What I'm going to say. Oh shit, no, I still have to come up with a fucking condition. My brain went off on the. Yeah, okay. Okay. What I'm going to say is you're studying Val's palm. You're really, and like you're kind of going into this like not really sure what to expect maybe.
Mhm.
You definitely start to pick up on something. And if you travel, like if you continue pursuing this connection, what I'm going to say is that your composure will falter. Like there's something, you've opened up your mind to something. But in doing so, your composure, your concentration is a little fractured, like you're hearing something, but it means that your attention to the waking world is a little less solid. So if you go through with it, the condition will be fractured, and that'll mean disadvantage on your composure checks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. For sure.
Do it? Okay.
Yeah,
So
she's not
you-
even thinking about it. She's just very excited to actually see something.
Yes. Okay, great. So yeah, you do it. You get these like this echo or this like double vision kind of from Val's palm, and you're following whatever this after image or this like residual lingering aspect of Paul Riviera is. And you're for a moment, you almost have like an out of body experience where you're kind of like in your body, but you're also outside, like you're outside the production studio and you're like reeling back through the cosmos and then falling forward again really, really fast into your physical form. And you get these little snippets of like conversation and like bits and pieces as you fall back. And what I'm going to say, the clue that you get is little snippets and little, like, it's so hard to even pick up what they're saying, but it seems to be like bits and pieces of a very tense off-camera relationship. Parts of it are definitely Paul Riviera, like you recognize his voice, and there's another voice there, and just this back and forth gets heated, it gets like really intense exchanges and like recriminations, but you can't quite make out who the other person is.
Oh. Okay.
And now everyone can do that forever. So that's great.
That's canon.
You're welcome.
Cool, yeah. There you go.
I assume you will repeat this back to all of us.
Yeah, so Mariana just kind of like twitches a little bit as she comes back to herself, and she's like, obviously, I guess there was a fight, and Paul, he was so angry at somebody here on the set, somebody that was working with everyone else. I don't think a contestant. Pet stream.
Pet stream. Pet stream.
Pet stream. Tail.
And you're
Don't make me
sure
baby
it's
boy.
not You sure it's not a contestant? Because I don't know, Scott's familiarity, knowing that Pollock's a crispy bottom, may have been
A
something
firm
suggesting.
bottom.
Uncomplicated.
Uncomplicated.
Firm and uncomplicated.
Don't we all?
Yep.
This is my 2023 goals. That's what I'm putting. I want to be a bottom that's firm and uncomplicated.
Put that on the vision board, you know? Just,
Yep.
yeah.
Christ. All right, sorry, this got so off track. I blame Rowan.
That's fair.
It's very good.
Yes. I don't know. I mean, that's all I was thinking is that this is something that's been going on for quite some time, weeks, months, maybe. So Scott just joined very recently. I don't know, if he was a part of it, but
Well, all right. I guess that was a hunch. Can't always rely on every bottom, apparently.
uncomplicated. I
Hey.
promise.
Rude.
Out of character. I did not mean it like that. And as I was saying it, I was like, oh, this is not what I wanted to do.
Too late.
No.
That's all right. Innuendo, unintentional innuendo was a classic staple of the joyous British baking.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Jolly good.
Yeah, thank you. The jolly good baking.
Oh, yes. Jolly good.
Good. All right. Now, I think that puts you at 9 clues. Is there anything else you want to pursue here? Any more palm reading?
I just really want to do that.
Yeah, that's very good. I love that.
I think that we have enough information.
To do a theory.
I would like to
Yeah.
take a better look at his face and how he ingested the poison. Just
Yeah.
any kind of
See
trace.
if there's any force.
Yeah, or like using the knitting needles to open his mouth a little bit, see if it's something he swallowed, see if it's up his nose, sort of get some details that way.
Yeah. So yeah, you can go back to the dressing room. Now are your knitting needles that because you have a sewing kit in your cozy little place, right?
My knitting sewing kit, yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, because you can use an item from your cozy little place to gain advantage on the roll. Because that sounds like what you're doing.
Though also I could just MacGyver it because
yeah.
that
Oh,
is
yeah.
my main move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Let's
if
do
you tell
it.
me 3 things in the room, I will tell you how I was able to conduct an unobtrusive autopsy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
What's in the room? What's in the room? What's in the room?
Um,
I'm gonna say mirror.
a mirror.
Oh.
Okay, I'm gonna say bubble gum because that feels like it's in a lot of them.
That's MacGyver.
Yeah,
so
like
good.
sheared bubble gum.
Mm. And I'm gonna say like a clothes hanger. A clothes hanger wire.
Ooh.
A
Ooh.
wire clothes
You
hanger.
can sort of lower it down into his mouth.
Question.
Or shape it
What
into
size-
some kind of pry thing. Something.
But what size is this mirror?
Oh, I mean, I was thinking like a dressing room mirror, but
Okay.
mirrors can be made smaller.
Because like if it was compact.
Yeah.
You can break it.
Yeah.
I mean,
So I think what I am going to do is position the mirror so that it is reflecting the angle that I cannot see as I am trying to investigate. And I'm going to use the bubble gum to hold it at that angle because otherwise if I bump the mirror or if there's some sort of issue with the excavation, I don't want to lose where I am. And then I will use the hook of the hanger around the lower jaw to open his jaw to see if there's any swelling of the tongue, any discoloration, any swelling of the esophagus, any trace that it was consumed that way, to see if it went down the trachea or went down the esophagus to see if it was an inhaled or swallowed, and if it was inhaled, see if there's any burning in the nostrils.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, so your MacGyver ability, it's an automatic 12, so it's a hit. Well done. So I'm going to say, I think that the results you find do seem consistent with something being swallowed or like consumed through the throat. So it does seem like, and maybe I'll say as well that it looks like okay, yeah, here's what I'll say. It looks like consistent with something that was swallowed or consumed. It also looks like you find kind of on his little, like, his beard, you see like little crumbs of what looks like sourdough bread almost. Like just a little, very, very fine, but like you really, it has that classic sourdough smell, right? It just like, it's iconic. It's yeasty.
Oh,
Yeah,
there
they're
you
like-
so
go.
yeasty.
And with sourdough bread, you put the flour on top, create that powdered
Yeah,
finish,
yeah.
and so perhaps that powdered finish
On
was
the
rat
bottom
poison.
as well, too. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Paul, as
And-
we of course all know, is a bread maker, loves his bread. It just there you go.
He just crunches right into the
Is there any
sourdough
treats
loaves
that we
face
do
first.
that?
Just
I mean, who doesn't? Just saying.
Mood. Yeah.
go into a
I'll
French
also
bread
say-
bakery.
Because that is a 12, so that means you get like a little tantalizing hint of something else that's going on in Brindlewood Bay. You also notice that like you're utilizing this mirror as part of your MacGyver contraption. For a second, you almost like you see a face reflected back at you. It's not your own. It looks like a featureless face. It seems to be wearing some kind of mask, maybe like metal. It's got a little bit of a shine to it, but just completely featureless. There's little dark slits for the eyes, but other than that, nothing else you can identify. And again, it's there and gone in a moment. Like you really have to work to convince yourself that it even happened at all. But you catch a glimpse.
A glimpse into the
Mystery.
darkness.
His hands are tied, right? I keep getting
are
that
tied.
thing.
Yeah.
Really nice
Yeah.
braided nylon cord. Just
Yeah.
That's the thing that's odd to me. Because, like, if he ate it willingly, why was he tied up? And also, how would he eat it
I
Yeah.
wonder.
while
Yeah.
tied up?
Like a
Oh.
force feeding type thing. I don't know if he's into that, but usually you need a safe word.
What kind of knots? Is this something that someone could do to themselves or like
Yeah,
requires
it's a
another
self
person?
bond.
Is it autoerotic? No.
Autoerotic asphyxiation via sourdough.
Anyways, Rowan, it sounds like you're trying to do a meddling move.
Is that what you call it?
Of
Is
course.
that what you call it?
Yep.
Yep.
Just
That's what the kids are calling it these days.
Yep. Yeah, there you go. That feels kind of like reason. Does that make sense? That you're kind of
Yep.
logically trying to intuit. Yeah, so give me a reason roll.
Well, that's a 6 and a 1.
Ooh, well, it's a 7 though,
Uh,
so it is still a success.
Plus
and
anything?
don't you have a 1 to your reason?
Yeah. Yeah. So that'd be
So that's 7.
it's an 8.
Do you have even more?
Yeah.
No, you don't. Never mind. Sorry.
No,
I put
it's
I
still
put
a
my
mixed,
extra
but
composure.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, composure.
yeah, still mixed. So I can give you a clue. It is going to come with a consequence or a condition. What is it you're trying to reason out this the fucking bondage situation?
I can't. Well, how did this end up being
Is
my
this
brand?
self
good.
bondage or
Yeah,
is it?
Same thing.
Good
Question is,
lord.
Is
Remember-
there anything in your
You can't
cozy
hide
place
behind
that
your
can help you
tablet.
understand this?
Sorry, what was that, Mary Lise?
Is there anything in your cozy place that can help you understand this so you get advantage?
No.
Oh boy.
Wait,
I
one of those
feel
old like
like
rug
Where's the
beaters.
TED Talk about
Nothing.
skin?
Bird is
I
the
feel
word.
like okay. Here is my pitch. I feel like the condition I'm going to give you is that it's going to be disadvantage on presence rolls, because part of presence is like it's something that's based on charm or like capturing the imagination. And I think your imagination has captured too much. Like, I think it's kind of strained to the limit.
It's just psychic damage. It's just psychic damage all the way down.
It's just psychic damage. We can call the condition seen too much or like
Yes.
can't unsee. Okay, great.
Presence.
Yeah. Disadvantage on presence. The clue. Oh, and so that's good. You want to go through with pursue that clue. Yeah. Hell yeah. Take all the conditions.
Old of you to assume I wasn't already thinking these things. Anyway.
Right? Good. Okay.
Voicing
Great.
it is what's gonna cause the problem.
Yeah. The clue that I'm going to give you. So first off, the way that this is tied, and you tell me how you know this, but the way that it's tied definitely couldn't have been done by Paul. Like it had to have been an additional person. And the clue that I'm going to give you that is actually literally on my list in this book is that you're kind of looking around the body and you're like, maybe there's like a pillow that got tossed to the side, and you kind of look under this pillow and you also find a ball gag, handcuffs, and a riding crop.
We love this for him.
Out of
We
line
love this.
with this course of inquiry. I was not. I was not.
You were not. You were
This was
correct.
in the book.
Yes!
It's in the book.
I believed all along.
Yeah, we knew, Paul. We knew.
We knew, Paul.
Like,
But he was kinky as fuck.
Good for
I
him.
knew.
Jolly good.
Jolly
He
good.
doesn't like a
Thank
soggy
you.
bottom.
Hey,
Gotta-
you
like,
need
gotta
a
bring
soggy
the
bottom,
bottom.
okay? You're not gonna go in there.
So if he's bound, it seems like he is the firm and
That's right,
uncomplicated
yeah.
bottom.
Yeah, good for him.
Yeah,
Is
you
it
know.
how-
He definitely
how
has
does
big
work?
sub energy. It's because he's like so powerful.
Stanley.
in
He
his
has power
business.
bottom energy.
He does have power.
No, it's because he's like, wants to be in charge and stuff in his work life, so then he needs to like unwind. And
Yeah.
You need
Yeah,
that
yeah.
work-life balance.
Just sort of relax, but no, you're gonna get there anyway. So.
Yeah.
You just want to lie back. Enjoy.
Christ.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So
Amazing, yeah.
we need to find the service top, and then we can figure out.
Oh no! Chain leaf.
Where does it end?
There is no lemon zest in this bake-off.
The problem is that I know it's not, but I do just keep picturing Mary Berry, and it is extremely troubling.
So troubling. I'm so sorry. Wow.
Do we want to go back to like the embezzling, blackmailing
No.
mindset? To be fair, the I know what you did blackmail note does seem a little less on the
maybe he
Think
was
about
using maybe he was using the like funds from the show to like pay for certain services.
My goodness, this
Like
Scotland.
service.
What is the Madame Tracy? How does she phrase it in Good Omens?
Oh, I've.
Oh
don't
god,
I'm
Yeah.
blanking.
that would have been a really
Services
good
for
book
the
if I could
distinguished
remember it.
gentleman.
No, it was like recreational discipline or something.
Yes. Yes.
Incredible.
Uh,
Oh my god. Yeah, so there's that.
So I
Is this
think
what
we
you
have.
wanted?
no.
Are you not entertained?
Now has
I
taken
gave you what
second
you
damage,
wanted.
and I, Rowan, have also taken second
I'm
damage.
sorry.
And that you will never heal from.
I couldn't help myself.
So happy we got this clue.
Good stuff, good stuff.
Mhm.
I
I
think
was
we
like,
enough.
I haven't rolled for anything. I should do something. And this is what happened.
This is what you
This is what happens
chose.
when you roll.
Yeah, you made this bed, and so did Paul.
He
You're
spent
tied to it.
hours.
Oh my god. Yeah.
So, wait, are there any traces of the bread and stuff on the ball gag? Did he eat it before he was tied up, or was he tied up and then forced to eat it by his part?
Yeah, what a great question.
That's
Wow,
why you
yeah,
gotta have
great. Yeah,
nonverbal signals.
yeah. Mary Louise, it sounds like that's a metal move. Do you want to roll? It feels like reason, right? You're trying to reason this out. I feel like I always default to reason, though.
I mean,
Well,
it's
it's a really common one,
investigative,
yeah.
yeah.
We
Yeah,
are really
okay.
talking to
Moves,
other
it
people,
might more naturally
so
be other things.
yeah.
Yeah, totally.
I'm officially using my fleshy dice and my Hellraiser
boy.
dice because they seem appropriate,
Good.
and that's an 8.
Hell yeah. Okay, an 8. So yeah,
Plus 1, so 9.
9. Yeah. Still a mixed success. So if you want to pursue the clue, I mean, we're back to this with the freaking sourdough and the ball gag.
Mhm.
Damn it. Shall I just give you the same one I gave Rowan? What else have I got? Sorry, I keep putting my tablet. I have my cheat sheet for like the abilities on my tablet. So I'm like,
You keep covering your face with it.
You can't hide your shame.
It is seen through.
See, I'm just
man.
looking at the like move list, and I'm like, there's the one that's like, this reminds me of something that happens to Amanda Delacourt, and that would be extremely funny to use in this specific
If we
situation.
want the golden crown this, we can.
It reminds me of that book where she
Mrs.
got,
Delacroix.
where she did a stint as a dominatrix.
Yeah, 50 Shades of Gold, I believe.
I thought it was called Hail to the King.
Love this.
The spin-off novels. The like super kinky spin-off novels.
I mean,
Yeah.
the old folks gotta do something in the home.
I mean, hey, you know, it's a living.
Good for them.
Yeah.
Not legally.
But
that's what the printer's for.
I think. Oh, I already gave you one that was disadvantage and composure, right?
Yeah,
Hmm.
yep, you did. I got a migraine.
Okay. I think I'm gonna do the same. Disadvantage on presence. Just it's really can't unsee. It's that.
Cursed
Once-
knowledge.
Yeah, you know too much. Cursed knowledge, ancient
Cursed
sins. You know.
images.
Yeah.
For being able to rewatch old Jolly Baking Show or whatever without thinking about
Yeah. For all times, now you will just see him getting railed in the back of your head.
No one wanted to watch him play hide the baguette, but they still did.
Oh no!
Ah, very
Is
good.
this- Is this too horny for like? Like
This got really horny, but it's very funny.
I feel
What's the
scandalous.
race on the
I don't know if
screen?
we're gonna make it our very first episode.
It's a fun one though.
We're a bunch of
Loved and deleted.
old elderly folks at a
Yeah.
baking contest.
Lemon zest.
And this is where we end up.
Listen, sexuality. Older people have a sexuality
You
too.
never leave it. It
Yeah,
never
you
goes.
know? Yeah,
Just
you got
because
you gotta
you're
do what
over
makes you
80
happy.
doesn't mean you're
Kinks-
dead
kinks
below the
last
waist.
forever.
Okay, so Mary Elise. So that sounds good. You want to go proceed with the condition?
Yep, I have seen.
Perfect. Yeah, you've seen.
We just
perhaps
make like
too
eye
much.
contact and just like there's the the dead stare.
1,000-yard stare. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, great. I am going to say what you were specifically looking at, like the ball gag and the sourdough.
Yeah, trying to figure out a timeline of events.
A timeline.
Are there crumbs on
Okay.
the ball?
Yeah, or like even can I tell from like the flour and stuff if this pillow was put on top of it after or before, and so
Okay.
if
Okay.
like someone was
While
trying
he was
to
eating
hide
bread.
it.
Cruel.
We don't know that the ball gag was used in that session. You know.
That's true. It's
Yeah,
just
I-
there.
What a great point, Haley. Yeah.
Usually you would keep those toys on your top tote before you use them. They're going to be used.
You gotta wash them every time.
Okay. All right. Rein it in. Okay. So
Sorry.
what I'm going to say. Yeah. Okay. The ball gag doesn't have like sourdough crumbs on it, but what I'm actually going to say is that the pillow was sort of just like placed on top of like it's almost like an open top box that these tools and implements are inside of. And what I'm going to say is that on further inspection, you actually find a couple of handwritten letters underneath these implements. And on closer inspection, they seem to be pretty saucy love letters.
And does the writing match the I know what you did?
I'm gonna say yes.
Ooh.
No, that clue is totally unrelated. It wasn't even for it's not for this mystery. It's for it could be anything. Like
How
It
dare
was
you
a
take this
match.
from me? It's my only thing. Relic.
You're the one who can see into the abyss and not let it see back.
yeah.
There's nothing
I
to look
gave you
back
palm
at.
reading.
Do I notice that the writing matches?
I think so, yeah.
I would point it out to you. I would point out all the information because I must share such horrors.
And I'm sorry, whose handwriting do we think this is?
I mean,
Yeah.
Jade Leaf seems like the most likely suspect. It seems,
Yeah.
based on her discussion of her dating history, it seems unlikely to be the other host.
So, yeah.
You're so right.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we have enough to make a call here.
Okay.
To
So,
yeah, can we roll to
Theorize.
theorize?
Yeah, absolutely.
What do we have? 10 clues?
Yeah, I've counted 11, so I've got
Oh,
11
11,
clues.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were 8 before the break, and we've had 3 since, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's going to be
many
7.
clues.
Okay, so we get plus.
but
we
it's
get plus
only
7.
if the clues can be applied to our solution.
No.
So
Yes.
some
Or
clues can be
it said
considered
otherwise, didn't it?
red herrings.
You
and
have
stuff.
to spin the story that works the clues in. But for everyone you add, it brings down that difficulty.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So,
Or
We-
are
in
otherwise
terms of-
explained. Sorry, I just remembered that.
okay.
If you
Oh,
can
yeah,
explain
or
it
you-
away,
yeah.
then it's fine too.
Yeah.
Okay, so we know that Jane was particularly concerned about budgetary concerns, which brings in all of those clues relating the correspondence.
Mhm.
So I think that's 3 separate clues in those correspondence.
Yeah, that's a
We
lot.
know that she is a baker, which brings in the baking tray that the rat poison was on. We know that it was someone in production because they would have been someone that worked for the company, as they had access and reason to hide the rat poison in the production office. The kinky stuff rules out a few other people who would perhaps not be interested in Paul in such a way, but would have that other access.
Spicy.
The bread earrings very well be Jane's.
Get their ears pierced, which may rule out
Yeah.
what's his name, Keith.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Heath.
Yeah. What are the other
Keith,
four?
yeah, sorry,
clues?
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What are the other 4 clues?
Well, there was the 3 different poison ones. The
Oh yeah.
yeah, that was on his face, that was on the baking sheet, and that the body had signs poison. And so, I
Yeah,
mean,
so
as
I think we're just
a
missing one then.
baker and housemaker and stuff, that does make sense. That
Mhm.
knowledge of it.
Yeah.
Though I'm not sure I know what you did note,
Yeah.
unless it's like strictly confronting him about embezzling.
Yeah.
Well, but that could tie, and also the fact that the writing matches the love notes in the box, which we've
Yes.
then tied by process of elimination to Jane. Then we know that that clue is probably also from.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
like knowing the
Yeah.
thing that has been done, I doubt it would have been the BDS thing because they're
No, but
But
it's
it
about
would be overspending likely.
it's the overspending, yeah, which connects to everything else. So yeah. So do we? I think we mentioned everything.
I think you did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so do we? Who rolls?
I think you guys decide.
Do we want to roll for it?
Who's feeling lucky?
I'm feeling incredibly
Rom?
unlucky.
But Rom hasn't rolled in a while.
That's true.
Yeah. That's what I was
True.
just
True.
thinking, actually.
I was gonna say like
Yeah.
my day started off tripping and sliding and feeling nauseous, so I'm like maybe not, or
Drop those
maybe this is
weights.
my.
I mean,
Drop your weights.
Drop the
Your
weights.
numbers up. Your numbers up.
Rockly.
All right.
It's time.
How many? Then what is this?
Two
2 dice.
2d6.
2 dice plus 7 plus 8.
I think
Plus
just
8.
plus 7.
7?
No, because we had 11 clues.
Mm-hmm.
And
11 clues.
four.
Sorry, minus 4. Yeah, sorry, you're right.
Yeah, minus 4.
I think
I
I,
thought it was-
got the.
Oh right.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
So you got a plus 7, so it's pretty
Okay.
hard to fail.
I think we
Don't
can't
say
fail.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is-
Don't say
Yeah.
that.
Well, no,
What?
because it's 6 or less. It's incorrect. So
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
So
okay.
The other
We
ones
can't
have
completely
some
fail.
can have
so
complications.
6 or less.
Yeah.
6 or less.
No.
Wait.
Yeah, so it's impossible to fail. So, but yeah, so
But
Roll it
we
out.
can see how well you succeed, and that's
Well,
exciting.
Yeah, there are levels
we-
of success.
We succeeded with a
tense.
16. A 3 plus 6 plus 7.
Ooh,
Oh,
shit!
Yes.
Oh my god!
Wow.
That's insane.
12 plus. Oh, person involved in the dark conspiracy of Brindlewood Bay also reveals
Ooh.
himself.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
For our
Ooh.
definitely never gonna happen next episode.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh my god. You rolled a 16?
We had
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
think we had
plus.
so many clues. We had so many clues.
Even without the plus 7, that's almost a 12. Like,
Yeah. 6.
oh
I- I dropped the weights.
you dropped the weights. Ah!
It's your rock lead.
It's my
Now
rock
we're
leaf.
really competing.
Eyebrows.
My maximum potential.
Well, I feel like we somehow broke the rolling, but
Maybe.
We
it's our
overshot
first
it.
time.
Yeah.
It's our
Yeah.
first time playing. We're being pretty generous with the clues.
Yeah.
And, you know, having a good time. Yeah, so you solve the mystery. You go back to the pavilion where the production staff, everyone is still waiting. Jane Leaf is there. And you guys, do you call 911 before you go back to confront?
We have to have our Poirot moment where we lay it all out before we.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, we have to do our monologue.
yeah.
Sit
can
everyone
I-
down in the parlor.
Yeah.
I know this is like not D&D where you can prepare an action, but like what if we prepare an action as like in position one of us gets behind her, and so as we're
Ooh,
like
yes.
as we're saying like and the culprit is, then one of us whispers like, we know what you did.
I
Oh,
need
that's very
behind
good.
her with the sword cane and do that, please.
Yes.
Yes.
Let me be the intimidation.
Ooh.
Yes.
just
Yeah.
like unsheaths it a little bit right behind her.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. You go up, you lay it all out. Do you want to lay it all out, or we just kind of did that? But
We
We just kind of
Yeah.
did.
yeah,
I
okay,
just
perfect.
say I basically say what I had just said while I was doing the whole.
Yeah.
Can we have asked to be like this? So all of the
Roll the
recording is not live.
cameras.
It's being like we ask like, look, you want a
You get
show?
Buck.
We'll give
Buck.
you this.
Yeah.
Like, are you getting this? Come on.
Yeah.
We're not meant to start filming again but
Yeah.
okay, yeah, sure,
You're
yeah.
gonna
You
want
said
this
to
for
tell us.
Live.
You said to tell us when you were ready for something exciting. So
I'll get the shot.
Here it is,
No
boy.
worries, man.
Buck, get over here.
Yeah. You lay it all out. You present your evidence. Everyone is shocked and appalled. Sue is like gasping, like she can't even believe it. Someone goes over and like pulls back. I really almost said Mary Berry. pulls back Jane Leaf's like the hair that curls around the side of her face, and you see one diamond bread loaf earring.
Sorry, Jane. You're toast.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
we did it, folks.
slam
did
dunk.
Boom.
Slam dunk.
Amazing.
And then it goes cutscene on this tragic day.
Like CSI Miami, they're like, yeah.
Yeah.
Suddenly Edna has like those
The glasses.
the shades.
Yeah.
The
The
wraparound
shades.
shades.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely incredible.
No.
You wrap everything up. I mean, Buck and Heath kind of grab Jane. I mean, she's a little old lady. They grab Jane Leaf by the arm. She says, it was all for the joyful. Fuck, I forgot the name.
Jolly.
Jolly good time.
Jolly.
Joyful, joyous. It was all for the jolly good baking show. We're an institution in England. You don't know what this will do to baking as we know it.
This is New England. We write the rules.
Ooh.
Two? We got two?
M.E.
Wild. On fire. She just looks at you in stunned silence. Just
Edna dabs.
the dabs. The local sheriff comes, takes her away. Takes her in for the local sheriff, who is familiar with the murder mavens, by the way. Like this group, you're always in and around solving these mysteries. He comes
Someone's
in,
gotta
he's
do it.
like,
Doing
Well-
your job for you once again, Sheriff.
I reckon some thanks are in order. Hats off to you. You keep doing your job, and I'll be one step behind, I guess.
Light work for you, Cher.
Yeah.
Please ignore any and all instructions of the crime scene that we may have left behind. It's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. You want a cup of coffee? There's a pot on in the sheriff's office for you.
You know what I think would go well with that coffee? Some
What?
pie.
Some humble
Sure
pie.
is. 3?
I think at this point you're just eating crow.
Yeah.
You might be right about that. Incredible.
Oh my
Yeah, we can wrap this up. On that roll of a fucking 16 or whatever the hell.
Do we get information about the dark conspiracy, though?
Yes. Who is
Yeah.
connected to the dark
Is it
conspiracy?
Scott?
As long as it's not Buck, because if Buck
Please
is
not
part of the
Buck.
conspiracy,
God, it was Buck all
We love
along.
Buck.
Buck would
Yeah.
Buck would never. We love
Ever.
Buck.
Buck would never.
We love Buck.
Anyway,
The
so
Buck
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 appears in
Never
a dark
himbo.
alley.
I think that how this clue reveals itself to you is you all get the morning paper. So the arrest of Jane Leaf, the scandal that the Jolly Good Baking Show, I did it! The scandal that the Jolly Good Baking Show has become embroiled in is like front page news. It's all over the papers. Each of you gets a copy of that day's paper where all this comes to light. And you see in the top corner, like right above the logo and sort of the headline of the newspaper, you see what looks like a small symbol. It seems to be some kind of, there's a triangle, but there's also like little wibbly wobbly tendrils making their way out from it.
The Illuminoodle.
God damn it. Yeah, the Illuminoodle. Absolutely. But yeah, you all, it seems to be like, it looks like it's ink, like it's a very, very dark sort of stain on the top of the paper. But when you look closer, it actually appears to be dark, dark red. Kind of dried
Like
on,
blood?
crusted over a bit.
Crunchy.
Yeah.
Like blood.
Maybe. Could be tea. Really dark, dark tea.
Dark, thick, opaque
Dark,
tea.
thick tea. Viscous.
Viscous.
Yeah. Viscous.
Tea.
Yeah.
Look at that thick tea.
Yeah. And in the middle of that little triangle shape is a little eye. Like almost to say that someone's watching you.
No, is this Illuminati actually? Like,
Cthulhuminati.
Cthulhuminati. Cthnoodle. We're workshopping it. We're
Illuminati.
Show me that
workshopping
kiss noodle.
Yeah.
Cthnoodle is pretty good.
Don't make me make a canoodle because I totally will.
Yeah.
Cthnoodle. Yes.
Good.
I love this.
I already have a pasta Mothman on my fridge.
Yes, we love him. All right. That's pretty good. I said we were going to wrap up at 7:30. It is 7:29.
All
Hell
right.
yeah.
Nailed
We
it.
did it, folks.
We did it.
Oh, totally.
Yeah. Do we want to go around one more time? Everyone, if you want to just say your name, pronouns, if you want to drop your internet handle or like other stuff that you're interested in plugging, I guess.
Phrasing.
Praise! Praise Cthnoodle, first of all.
Okay, I'm Lee Baldwin. I am on Abstract Adventures. I'm also on this show and this series. Yep, find me online. It's just Abstract Adventures. Pretty easy one.
I'm Rowan. I am basically just on this. Please don't find me online.
I'll
Don't
cheers
look
to
for me.
that.
Rowan is hiding under a blanket.
I'm Haley. I'm on this show. And what are you, the cops?
Amazing.
I'm B. Pronouns are bitch bastard. And I am also an internet ghost, but who knows?
Cut up all
What
your
may
credit
happen.
cards.
Mhm. Yeah, and if you would like to send me though your number, then I can adapt your personality and whole shtick. Like, you know, that's the name of the game. Thank you.
It's a
Clear.
face stealing thing. It's fine.
For legal purposes, this is a joke.
Joke, maybe.
Joke.
What?
And I'm Mary Elise. Pronouns they, them. If you want to find me online, Twitter, I'm Dexy Plushies. And the spelling is earlier in the episode. You can go and find it. If you want to support my other work, hey, you should go see Ant-Man Quantumania. It's in theaters now. Yay!
Yay.
Demonetized.
It's got everything. It's got quantums. It's got manias.
It's got ants.
So many ants.
Ants.
Oh my god.
It's got ants. It's got men. What more could you want?
Yes. And I'm mean.
I'm me. Thank you very much.
You are.
You've been here.
Yeah,
the whole
actually, we do have a
time.
me
I've been here the
already.
whole It's just this. I'm Rem. I'm Rem of the Realm on most social media. I'm also on Abstract Adventures. It's great. We woke up early this morning to do that. Go
Very
listen
early.
to our podcast. Yay!
For our actual
All
British
right.
friends.
We actually know a British person. So,
One British.
one British
At least
person.
one.
Makes it
Okay, I have a friend who's British.
Ooh.
Once again, apologize to Mary Berry. Sincere apologies. Brindlewood Bay is an amazing game. We love it. This is incredible.
No British chefs were harmed in the making of this show.
Without their
Yes.
consent.
One Paul was harmed.
One paw.
One paw.
Just a
It was
single paw.
consensual. It's fine.
Was it?
Any
The rest
resemblance
was
to any
not.
Maybe
any
yeah.
resemblance to any existing British chefs is completely accidental.
Yes.
Completely
Yes.
accidental. You know. All right, let's wrap it
You
up.
know.
Have a good night. Don't try this at home.